In this next one shot video, we are going to start with straight lines. We are again going to systematically start with the weightage of the topic, then go into the syllabus that needs to be covered, then go into more deeper points of what exactly there is in the syllabus using mind maps, and ultimately come on to 17 problem types that can be asked in straight lines. So without any further delay, let us start with it. So the weightage of this topic is usually around one question. Statistically speaking, there has been one question from straight lines in the last 2 to 3 years. Now if I go into the exact syllabus comparison between 23-24, you can see that there was one major change. That major change is exclusion of equation of internal and external bisector of a angle between two lines and family of lines. So these two ideas were removed from the syllabus, and largely speaking they stuck with this syllabus change because in 2024's exam there was no question related to angle bisector or family of lines in the exam. If we do a detailed analysis of mind maps, the idea of this chapter starts with a point. So in point we start with the concept of different kinds of coordinate axes that are there. And in that there are 2-3 important ideas. One is nothing but the locus, how to find locus, what are the 4 steps for finding the locus. Then we move towards transformation of axis. We talk about shifting of origin, and then we talk about nothing but rotation of axis. Ultimately we move towards the idea of slope and how to find the angle between two lines, and here we also see what will happen if two lines will become parallel and perpendicular. Then we slowly move towards finding the equation of a straight line. So in that we start with slope intercept form, slope point form, 2-point form, normal form, parametric form, distance form, and then equation through point and equally inclined to a line. These kind of situations we discuss. Then we move towards perpendicularity per se based questions, in which we have a point and we have to find perpendicular distance, foot of perpendicular and image. Such kind of conditions we move into. Then we move into perpendicular distance between two parallel lines. Our discussion further moves into angle bisector. So angle bisector containing origin, acute angle bisectors containing a point. These 3 discussions we do. And ultimately then we move towards family of lines. So now we are dealing with multiple lines. In that we do systematic discussion of how to write the equation of a straight line passing through intersection of two lines. Then we reverse the idea, and then we talk about a set of line that is given and how to split it into family of lines and get the point. Then we do geometry based discussion based on concurrency of lines. So now if we have 3 set of lines, then what can happen is basically they can intersect at a point. So concurrency condition will come. If they do not intersect, then they will form triangles and different kinds of centers. And this is a very important discussion because now this discussion is also going into solution of triangles. So we will have concepts of centroid, geometry of centroid, we'll have orthocenter, geometry of orthocenters. Those ideas we need to do in terms of different kinds of centers. Then the idea of reflection. If you go a little more deeper, though it is not required in JEE Mains, we will also have a concept of pair of straight lines that you do not need to cover at the level of JEE Mains. So in this mind map, what you can observe is we systematically start with a straight line, then we move into the idea of a point and straight line. Then we bring in more straight lines. So we have 2 straight lines, and we can talk about their angles, perpendicular lines, parallel lines, and then the concept of angle bisector. Then we bring in 3 lines and we talk about that concurrency and different kinds of triangles and the centers of the triangles that can be formed. Then we move towards family of lines concept, and ultimately the pair of straight lines. So it is a very systematic way of moving across the topic. If you move in this manner, it is very easy to remember the content. Now the first kind of problem type that we are going to cover is nothing but the area of polygons. Now this has been very important area, and there have been at least more than 10 questions from this topic in previous 5 years. So let us first understand the concept. So if I have a triangle and the vertices of the triangle are given as nothing but x1, x2, x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3. So the area of this triangle can be found using this formula. If you take this vertices in anti-clockwise direction, you will see that this formula will provide you a positive answer. If you take it in clockwise direction, then it will provide you a negative answer. So when somebody is giving you the area or asking you to figure out the points, sometimes we'll consider 2 signs, positive sign and negative sign both, and corresponding to that we will get two different set of points. This is a very important area that needs to be remembered. If I want to generalize this into an n-sided polygon like a equilateral or pentagon, hexagon, then we can scale up the same idea using this simple formula that is given here. You can see that what we are doing, we are writing x1, x2, x2, x3, similarly y1, y2, y2, y3, so on and so forth till we reach the last one, that is xn, and after that we go and wind up the cycle till xn, xn, xn and x1. So you can see that using this formula you can also get area of polygons involving higher values of n. If I move forward, let us go to the first problem that came in 2024. Now let us first read this question and see what the question says. Question says that a variable line passing through the point. So they have given the point a variable line passes through. So let us keep drawing. So question says that you have variable line passing through a point. It is given as 3, 5. And they are saying that it intersects the positive coordinate axis at point A and B. So this point is A, this point is B, and this is O. Then what they are saying is find the minimum area of the triangle formed. So this area of the triangle they are talking about will take the value of the slope for this line to be m. And if I do so, the equation of the line using this can be written as nothing but y minus 5 is nothing but m into x minus 3. What is the benefit of doing this? Because now if I put the value of y is equal to 0, I will get the value of x. So the value of x or a corresponding to this will become nothing but 3 minus 5 by m. And in the same part, if I put x equal to 0, you will get that the value of y will be nothing but 5 minus 3m. So what we have got this OA distance, that is this x. So this is 3 minus 5 by m. And this distance also we have got, this is 5 minus 3m. And they have given that both of these distances are positive. So we will consider that while writing the final answer. If I move further, you can see that if I want to write the area will become nothing but half of base into height, so half of OA into OB. This is how we can write the area. And if I do so, 3 minus 5 by m into 5 minus 3. Now let us multiply and check. So if I multiply it, 1 by 2 is fine. What will happen is this will become 15. Then if I multiply, this will become 9m. Then the next part, if I multiply, this becomes nothing but minus 25 by m square by m. And so if I now apply, you can see that since m is smaller than 0 in this case, because if it intersects at positive direction, it needs to be minus 9m and minus 25 by m. Both of these will be positive. And if both of these are positive, so you can see that if I am taking am is greater than or equal to gm, so 9m, this is the positive quantity, plus minus 25 by m by should be greater than or equal to minus 9m into minus 25 by m raised to the power 1 by 2. So what we can say is, see, this minimum value of this expression will come when equal to occurs, and equal to will occur when these both are equal. So we can see that the minimum value is occurring if both of these terms become equal. So you can see that the value of m square will become 25 by 9. From here we can get the value of m. So the value of m, there are two, we'll take the negative value, will become nothing but minus 5 by 3. We need to substitute this value here and get the final answer. If you see that there are two major parts of the question. The first part is finding this area that we have used by finding half of base into height. And the second part of this question, once you have done that, is nothing but applying am is greater than or equal to gm. So there are two parts of this question which can be solved, and we can combine those parts to get the final answer. Now let us go into this 2020 question. Question says that there are 2 points. Now again let us start. So if I draw the coordinate axis, one point is 1, minus 1. So 1, minus 1 would be somewhere here. This is my point A. There is another point B that is given, that is 0, 2. So 0, 2 will be a point somewhere here. This is nothing but point P. This is also fine. Now they have taken the point x dash y dash such that the area of the triangle PAB is 5 square units. So let us take this point. So this we have taken. This is my point P. And now you can see that they are talking about this area of triangle PAP. And they are saying that it is nothing but 5 square units and it lies on this line. The formula, this will become x dash y dash 1, then it will be 0 to 1 and finally 1 minus 1 1. Take the value of delta is nothing but plus minus 5 because we don't know where the anti-clockwise lies, whether this point is here or here. So we'll have to take both the signs, and if I do so and write the answer by opening this determinant, it will become x dash into 2 plus 1 3 minus y dash into minus 1 and finally 1 into minus 2. This is what they get. And if I simplify this, this will become nothing but plus minus 10. This will become 3 times x dash plus y dash minus 2. So 3x dash plus y dash will be equal to, there will be two equations. If I take plus sign, then what we are getting from here is nothing but 8, 12. And another answer will become thrice of x dash plus y dash. If I take minus 10, it will become minus 8. This also lies on a straight line. This is x dash y dash. This lies on the straight line. And the equation of the straight line is also given as 3x plus y minus 4 lambda equal to 0. Now you can see that if I compare, so you can see that corresponding to this, what we have got is again two answers. First answer was nothing but 3x dash plus y dash minus 12 is equal to 0. And you can see that another answer was 3x dash plus y dash plus 8 is equal to 0. So if I compare this with this equation correspondingly, my 4 lambda minus 4 lambda will be equal to minus 12 lambda comes out to be 3. And if I take this scenario, in this scenario, you can see that minus 4 lambda will become equal to 8. The value of lambda becomes minus 2. Now let us check the options. So lambda equal to minus 2 is given in none of the options, but lambda is equal to 3 is given in option A. Lambda is equal to 3 is given in option A, hence that becomes our answer. So you can see that again there are two parts of the question, one to find the area and second to check the value of lambda. If I move towards this 2022 question says that there is a triangle ABC lying in the first quadrant. So now let us again start. So they are saying that in the first quadrant A is 1, 2. So 1, 2 will be somewhere here. This is my point A. And then there are C 3, 1. So 3, 1 would be somewhere here. This is point B. Now if angle BAC is equal to 90 degree, there is a third point. So A and B we know. And now there can be a point C in such a manner that BAC is 90 degree. And now one more thing is the area of triangle ABC is 5 root 5. Then the abscissa of the vertex. Now if BAC is equal to 90 degree, so there are two things possible. You can either go here and take C here, or we can go here and take C here, something like this. And now two triangles can get formed. This is one triangle, this is another triangle. This is what is happening. Now in order to do that, so this angle is given as 90 degree, angle BAC. C can be there also and here also. So you can see that clearly there are two cases. You can clearly see that if I find area of triangle, this is given as 5 root 5. So delta can be written as a half of, this can be written as xy1, 1 2 1 and 3 1 1. And since we do not know whether it lies on the right hand side or left hand side, we'll take this value as plus minus 5 root 5. This will become 1 by 2. So this becomes x into 2 minus 1, this becomes 1, minus y into 1 minus 3, that becomes nothing but minus 2. And finally 1 into 1 minus 6, that would be nothing but minus 5. You can see that the value of x minus plus y into 2 minus 5 will be equal to plus minus 10 root 5. Or x plus y into 2, this can be written as minus 5 plus minus 10 root 5 will be equal to 0. So this is one equation that we have got. Plus slope of this AC with slope of AB and equated to minus 1 because there is condition of perpendicularity getting applied. Minus 2 by x minus 1. The slope of AB is going to be nothing but (1 minus 2 by 3 minus 1), and this is going to be minus 1. So if I write the value of y minus 2, it is nothing but x minus 1, and this will become 2, the numerator will become minus 1, so this becomes 2. So you can see that another equation that we are getting is nothing but 2x minus 2. So this minus 2 will get cancelled out. So y is equal to 2x. If I substitute this value, this will become x plus 4x is nothing but 5 plus minus 10 root 5. You can see that 5x is equal to 5, I can take common, 1 plus minus 2 root 5. So this 5 and this will get cancelled out. The answer is 1 plus 2 root 5 and 1 minus 2 root 5. So 1 plus 2 root 5 is given in the option. So B option becomes your correct answer. You can see that again there are two steps. One slope condition, area condition, and then final answer. 2022 question says that there is a line L. Now line L is given as this 2x plus 5y, and keep writing information when you are reading the question. Another line is given as minus 4x plus 3y is equal to 12, and the line L3 which passes through the point 2 comma 3. So now there is another line that passes through 2 comma 3. So we have got two lines. If I plot them, this is how they will look. So if I put y equal to 0, x becomes 5, and if I put x equal to 0, y becomes 2. So we are talking about this line. Another line, so this was L1, L2 is nothing but if I put y equal to 0, x is equal to minus 3, and if I put x equal to 0, y is equal to 4. This is L3, L2. Now L3 passes through a point 2 comma 3 and intersects L1 at B. So this is B, this is nothing but A, L2 at A. If the point P divides the line segment joining AB, P was already given to us, 2 comma 3. Now what they are saying is if P divides the line segment joining AB internally in the ratio 1:3. Very important that when we are looking into P divides the line segment, notice the order of the points. From A to B, you need to go in the ratio 1:3. Then the area of the triangle is equal to. So what they are asking is area of this triangle that is getting formed as a result. Now we can see that if you want to solve this question, what you will have to do. If I want to find the area, I will need to get the point AB, and let us say that this point that nobody is talking about, C. If I have able to get the coordinates of these 3 points, I can apply my delta formula and get the answer. But the problem is that C I can find because both the lines L1 and L2 I know, but L3 line I don't know, so A and B are unknown. So if I can somehow find the value of A and B, I can get the answer. So what is the logical flow? Logical flow is in order to get delta, you will require A, B, C points. C is very simple to find, C can be figured out. What I will require is nothing but point A and B. And for finding A and B, they have given us this section formula condition. So this is how we are going to proceed in this question, and this kind of algorithms you should be able to think, because if you are able to think, you will be able to implement faster. If I want to do this, what I am going to do is, So I can consider one of these points as nothing but x comma y. So this, let us consider this as x1 comma y1. Because if I do so, this point is given as x2 comma y2. So what can I do now? See, now if I do so, how many relations do I have got? The first relation that I can write is between x1 y1, because they will satisfy the line L1. They will satisfy the line L2. So this line, second line, they are on the line L2. So if what we have is 4x1 plus 3y1 will be equal to 12. This is one. Second that I have is nothing but for x2 y2, it will satisfy the first line. So 2x2 plus 5y2 is equal to 10. This is another. And now for the section formula, there is a third relation, and that says we can get 2 from here. So that will become 3x1 plus x2 by 4 will be equal to nothing but 2. And then what you have is nothing but 3y1 plus y2 by 4 is equal to 3. You can see that you have 4 equations, 4 unknowns. You can solve and get the answer. Also not very difficult to solve. So now you have understood that using this section formula, we will be able to get A and B. C we can find through intersection. And once you have got all the 3 points, we can apply this delta formula and get the final answer. So it is not a very difficult question to solve. If you are getting a negative answer, take a modulus to get the right answer. Moving forward, there is this 2022 question. What is given here is nothing but, again, let us read the question. The point of A, B, C are given with the vertices of a triangle ABC. B is a point on the side BC. So now let us draw. So let us draw a small triangle. What they are saying is A is 1, 1. So 1, 1 might be here. So this is my point A, that is 1, 1. Then there is a point minus 4, 3. So minus 4 would be somewhere here. And 4, 3 would be up. So this is minus 4, 3. This is my point B. Now what they are saying, there is a C minus 2, minus 5. So minus 2 would be somewhere here. And then minus 5 would be down below. This is my point C. You can see that by doing this, we have got all the 3 points. It would be better if I write A on the other side. Now once you have done this, now you can draw the triangle. So we are talking about this triangle. So you have got an idea what triangle we are talking about. And in straight lines especially, drawing diagram will lead to simplification to a lot of questions. Now P be a point on the side BC. Now this is BC. They want me to take a point P here. Let us say here. In such a manner that delta 1 and delta 2 be the area of triangle APB. Now what they are saying is you need to take delta 1 to be area of triangle APB. APB is nothing but this triangle. And delta 2 is nothing but the area of triangle ABC. So triangle ABC is nothing but the whole triangle. They are triangled in such a manner. So what they have given is they have been given the ratio of delta 1 by delta 2. This is given as nothing but 4 by 7. This is given to us. Then what they are saying, find the area enclosed by the lines AP, AC and the x-axis. So what AP, AC and the x-axis. So fundamentally what they want us to find is this area. This is the question. This is what they want us to find. If we want to do this question, we will want this location of point P. So this is how we should think in this question. So if I want my required delta, for that I will require point P. For that I will require equation of line AP. Now A I know, P I don't know, so I will require point P, and that can be got using this delta 1 by delta 2. This is how I should logically link it. Now if I link it in this manner, so what are the things that we need to understand is the value of delta 1 that we need to get. Now see, what you should understand here is, if you are doing it in this manner, so if I assume the area of, now how can we use this condition? In the first part, if I take the height of this triangle as nothing but h, so what I am considering is basically the height of this triangle from here to here as nothing but h. So in the first part, I can write the value of delta 2 as half of base, that would be nothing but BC into height. If I write the value of delta 1, you can see that the height of this triangle also will remain same, but the base will change. So we will write delta 1 as nothing but BP into h. So when they have given us the ratio of delta 1 by delta 2, essentially you can see that this is nothing but the ratio of BP by BC, and this is given as 4 by 7. So finding point P has become easy. So now we can apply section formula in the second part. So you have got a line. This is the point P, and this line has this coordinate. This is B, and this is C. B is given as nothing but -4, 3, and this point is nothing but -2, -5. Now you can see that using this you can apply section formula and get the value of B. So that will become nothing but, this is nothing but 4:3. If I apply my section formula, this will become -8 into -12. Yes, divide by 7, and the second part would become nothing but 4 into -5, that is -20 plus 9 divided by 7. Calculation, you have got the point P. Now in the step 3, you can write equation of AP. So now if I write the equation of AP, it is going to be nothing but, using 2-point form we can write it. So once you have written this equation, what you will observe is, once I have got this equation and I have got this equation, I have got these 2 points, and I can do half of base into height and find the area. So this is a simple question. After this you can follow these steps and get the answer. Now if I look into this 2022 question says that there are 3 points, and the area of that is given as 4 square units. So you can see that, and there are 3 points which are collinear. So you can see that you have 2 set of conditions. The first set of condition is for the area of triangle. So we can write plus -4 as nothing but delta of 1 alpha 1 alpha 0 1 and 0 alpha 1. From here we can get one equation. Second, what they are saying is this second set of points are collinear. That would mean the area found by the triangle will become 0. They will be in a straight line. So this becomes alpha minus alpha 1 and minus alpha 1 and ultimately alpha square beta. Now we have 2 equations, 2 unknowns. You can solve and get the answer. Now let us look into this 2023 question. Question says that there are 2 points which are symmetrically oriented about the origin over a line y plus x equal to 0. So what they are talking about is, and if I draw a line like this, y is equal to minus x. So if I take one of that point to be x comma minus x, another would become nothing but minus x comma x. This is what the statement means. So if I assume this to be b, this will become c. They are saying that they are taking a point A on the line y is equal to 2x plus 2. So this is another line that they have given. So let us also plot this line. So if I plot this line, this is going to be something like this. And this line is given as nothing but y is equal to 2x plus 2. There is a point A on this line in such a manner that there is a point A on this line in such a manner that this triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. This is what is happening. This is an equilateral triangle. This would mean all the 3 sides are equal. See, now you should understand that if there is a triangle ABC that is equilateral triangle, and equilateral triangles will have this idea that if I take a perpendicular bisector of the base BC, perpendicular bisector, so this is perpendicular bisector, it will pass through it. Now we can see that the midpoint of this would be origin. So this perpendicular. Now the slope of this line is -1. So if I take a line that goes perpendicular to this through the midpoint, it will pass through it. So you can see that this line will be equal to y equal to x. So this point is nothing but intersection of the orange line and this purple line. So if I find the intersection of y is equal to x and y is equal to 2x plus 2, I should get my point A. And this is very easy to find also. I will just replace y by x. You can see that x comes out to be -2. So what we have got is nothing but point A. This is -2 comma -2. Now let us understand what is happening. See, this is a perpendicular distance from here to here, and this is -2 comma 2. So let us draw the triangle in the right sense. So if I want to find this height, this is nothing but distance from origin. So this will become 2 root 2. Because this is -2 comma 2, this is origin, I can apply distance formula. So now we know the height of the triangle, and you know this angle 60 degree. So now if I want to find the base, it is very simple. This will become nothing but a by 2. So I can apply tan of 60 degree, and this is nothing but 2 root 2 by a by 2. This is nothing but root 3. So this comes out to be 4 root 2 by a, or a comes out to be 4 root 2 by root 3. This is the value of a that we are getting. This is my second point. If I move towards the third point, what they are asking is the area. The area of an equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 a square. If you put the value, the answer comes out to be 8 by root 3. And that is nothing but option D. So you can see that in this question, we have used geometry to solve question. Now here a very important point before we move forward. See, whenever we are solving a question of coordinate geometry, as a student of mathematics, you should understand that there are 3 techniques, or we can say 4 techniques to solve a problem. The first technique is nothing but write equation, solve and get an answer. Or we could have written equation of the same thing using 2 different methods and compared. Or we can apply some property and solve a question. Or we can use geometry. So these are 4 approaches that you will always have while solving a problem. So important thing to notice here is, if you go from here to here in the downward direction, your solution will become shorter. So you can see that whenever we have started with coordinate geometry, and we will go systematic from straight line, circle, parabola, ellipse, hyperbola. So we will try and keep our solution more towards these 2 points and less towards these 2 points, because then you can see that whenever you will have to apply property, so you will observe that if you have to solve the equation, you will take more time. And if you apply the geometry or some kind of property in the same question, it will become much easier to get answer. Now let us look into this last 2022 question. Question says that, question says that there is a point 3 by root 2 root 2 in the xy plane. So there is a point in the xy plane. They have given the value of a is positive, so point can be somewhere here. The coordinates of this point are also given 3 by root a and then root a. The image of a in the y-axis be b. So if I take the image of this in y-axis, this will become b. So you can see that the y coordinate will remain same. So the y coordinate will remain same. So the coordinates of this point will become -3 by root a and then root a. The image of b in the x-axis BC. Now we are taking again the image of this in x-axis. So this will become c. So this will come out to be here. Now we can see that this will become -3 by root a, and now the y coordinate will become negative. If d be 3 cos theta, a sin theta in the point in the 4th quadrant, So let us take a point D here, and this is given as 3 cos theta comma a sin theta. This is given to us. The area of the triangle ACD. They are talking about area of this triangle ACD. Idea is very simple. There are 2 steps in this question. First, you will write the value of delta. So let me write that for you. This is going to be 1 by 2, 3 by root 2, root a. Then you will have root a, then 1. Then the next coordinate will write as c is nothing but minus 3 by root a, minus root a 1. And the last would be nothing but 3 cos theta and a sin theta 1. So this is the first step. Now we can see that very easily we can solve this just by adding first and the second row. So this is very easy. So if you do that, you will be able to get this value very fast. So now if I do that, this will cancel out and become 0, 0. This will become 2. Then minus 3 by root a, minus root a 1, 3 cos theta, a sin theta 1. Now if I open it along the first row, I will get my answer very fast. So this will become 1 by 2 into 2 and then minus 3 by root a into a sin theta and minus of, this will become plus 3 root a cos theta. Now this will get cancelled out. Now this is your delta. In the second part, what they are saying is the maximum value of delta. This value is given as nothing but 12. What they are asking is basically find the value of it. Now you can see that if you have some expression like a cos theta plus b sin theta, and this we did multiple times, the maximum value of this would be nothing but root of a square plus b square. This is a very famous result of trigonometry and we have used at least 2-3 times before also in PYQs. So this you can directly apply now. So this should be equal to, this we can simplify, will become root a. So this would be nothing but root of 9 into a plus 9 into a. So you can see that this comes out to be 18. So this will become 18a. So the value of 18a is nothing but 144. You can get the value of a from here. So 144 by 18. Now let us move on to second type of problems that are nothing but based on locus. So locus type of problems are usually can be split into 4 different steps. The first step is to assume the point whose locus needed to be found as h comma k. Second step would be to write the condition. In the step 3, eliminate the unknowns, and in step 4 replace h by x and k by y. Now using these 4 steps, we are going to see what kind of questions we are asked based on locus and straight lines and how to attempt those questions. Now if I move towards this 2024 question, it says that there is a point A. So now you can see that A is minus 1 comma 1. So minus 1 comma 1 would be somewhere here. This is nothing but my point A. Then there is a point B, 2 comma 3. So 2 comma 3 would be somewhere here. Now P be a variable point above the line AB. So if I join AB, above the line AB there is a point, variable point P, such that the area of a triangle PAB is nothing but 10. So now this is important. The first step would be to take this point as h comma k. Now they have, in the second step, since they have told us the point lies above the line, I can go into anti-clockwise direction and write the area of triangle as HK1, minus 1, 1, 1, and then 2, 3, 1. So this would be the area of triangle PAB. Now let us write it down and get the locus. So the value of delta here is given as nothing but 10. So let us put that value as 10. And if I expand this, it will become h times 1 minus 3, that will become minus 2, minus k times minus 1 minus 2 minus 3, and ultimately 1 times minus 2, minus 3, minus 2, minus 5. Now if you write that, this would become nothing but 20. This will become minus 2h plus 3k minus 5. So value of 2h minus 3k will be equal to minus 25. This is the second and third step we have done in the same step. So in the fourth step, we will replace h by x and write this as nothing but 2x minus 3y is equal to nothing but minus 25. So this is the locus of point P that we are getting. Now what they have given is basically, they have also given us the locus of P. So in the next step, that is the fifth step, let us compare them. So they have given the equation as ax plus by is equal to 15. So let us compare the coefficients of x and y. So if I do so, a by 2 will be equal to b by minus 3 will be equal to 15 by minus 25. This I simplify, this becomes 3 by 5, in fact minus 3 by 5. If I take this part, the value of a will come. It comes out to be minus 6 by 5. The value of b will also come if I take this 2. It will come out to be 9 by 5. Now what they are asking is nothing but 5a plus 2b. So 5a plus 2b will be equal to nothing but, this will become minus 6 and this will become 18 by 5. So 6 into 5 is 30. So 30. So minus 30 plus 18 by 5, that is nothing but 12 by 5 with a minus sign. Let us check the options. You can see that A option matches. So this is nothing but a very simple question, nothing very complicated. I can do it very short also. Instead of taking h comma k, I could have directly taken x comma y and done this very fast. But in order to teach you the process, I did it using long method the first time. If I look into this 2024 question says that the locus of the point whose direction from 2, 1, 1, 3 are in the ratio 5:4. See, now I will do it little bit faster and shortcut few steps. So sometimes we will take h comma k and if the condition of the question demands, otherwise we will directly take it at x comma y and solve the question. Now the locus of the point whose distance from the point 2, 1. So 2, 1 would be somewhere here and 1, 3 would be somewhere here. The question says that the locus of the point whose distance from this point are in the ratio 5:4. So there is a point P. Now we can take h comma k. Here I am avoiding h comma k because I will be able to get my answer faster if I write x comma y. So let us say that this point is A, this is B. So we are talking about this small triangle. So now it can be triangle also, straight line also, we don't know. Now if I write the value of PA, it is going to be, this is my step 2, root of x minus 2 whole square plus y minus 1 whole square. We will write the value of PB, that is root of x minus 1 whole square, y minus 3 whole square. Now what have they given in the next step is the ratio is in the from PA to PB. So PA, this is for elimination. This is given as nothing but 5/4. Now let us do this. So if I put this value, it is root of x minus 2 whole square plus y minus 1 whole square into 4 would be equal to 5 times root of x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square. If you have this, we can square both the sides and get the relation of the stuff. All you need to do is square, and in the fifth step compare with the equation that is given here and get the answer of this question. Now this is not a very difficult part. Next 2 steps you can do. You can see that here instead of taking h comma y, I have taken x comma y, x comma y, and we have shortcut the whole process by 1 step. Let us look into this 2023 question. Question says that we have a straight line, that is nothing but x cos theta plus y sin theta is equal to 7. Theta lies in between 0 and pi by 2. Find the value of alpha if it lies on the midpoint of the line's locus. So now let us first find what they are saying. So what they are saying is, if you draw this line, from this line, if I want to find this A point where it cuts the x-axis, what we'll have to do, we'll have to put y equal to 0. So this becomes nothing but 7 by cos theta. Comma 0. If I want to find this point B, if I put x equal to 0, this will become 7 by sin theta. This point becomes 0, 7 by sin theta. Now what they are saying is, if I take this line segment AB, okay, the midpoint ka locus will be h comma k. You can see that here also I am not writing h comma k. I am shortcutting this one step and I am replacing this by x comma y directly. So I will be able to get my answer one step faster. Now what they are saying is, this is the midpoint. So if this is the midpoint, then x will be nothing but 7 by cos theta plus 0 by 2. So from here the value of cos theta, if you find, it is nothing but 7 by 2x. Similar thing we can do for y coordinate also. Y would be nothing but 0 plus 7 by sin theta divided by 2. So if I want to find the value of sin theta from here, it is going to be 7 by 2 times y. Now why are we doing this? Because we are preparing ourselves for the second step, the elimination part. So we will square and add them. We will use our identity cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1. So if you put the value, this becomes nothing but 49 by 4 x square plus 49 by 4 y square is equal to 1. This is what we are getting. Now question says that this point lies on this curve. Okay, this is my third step. So I can directly take this point and substitute here. So this becomes nothing but, if I write it systematically, so let me do it in. So if I substitute this point, it becomes 49 by 4 alpha square plus 49 by 4, and this can be written as 7 by root 3. So this will become 49 by 3. This is equal to 1. You can see that this will get cancelled out. So 49 by 4 alpha square plus 3 by 4 is equal to 1. So 49 by 4 alpha square will be equal to 1 by 4. So from here the value of alpha comes out to be nothing but 4 and 4 will get cancelled out, 7. Actually plus minus 7. But since they have given the value of theta is 0 to pi by 2, it will lie in the first quadrant. Hence the answer will come out to be B option, that is. Now this 2022 question says that a point P moves so that the sum of its distance from the points 1, 2 and minus 2, 1 is 40. Now they are talking about the locus and some more things. So let us do in a very systematic order. So P moves such a manner that the sum of its squares of distance from 1, 2 to 2, 1. Okay. So understand there are 2 points. 1, 2. 1, 2 would be somewhere here. This is point A. And there is another point minus 2, 1. So minus 2 would be here. So 1 would be here. So somewhere here. Minus 2, 1. Now if I join these 2 points, okay, this will become a straight line. And then they are talking about a point P that moves in such a manner that the distance from these 2 points, so, and this is very interesting. The question says that, moves us that the sum of squares, so PA square plus PB square is equal to 40. This is given in the question. Skip the h comma k part and write the point P as nothing but x comma y. If I substitute the value, So this PA from here, using distance formula, you can see will come out to be nothing but x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square. The PB part will come out to be nothing but x plus 2 whole square plus y minus 1 whole square. So again you can put the value here. If I put the value, this becomes x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square. And then next part would be nothing but x plus 2 whole square plus y minus 1 whole square is equal to 40. Now let us simplify and check what do we get. So we will get 2 times x square, 1 x square from here, 1 from here. There will be minus 2x plus 4x. So that will become 2x. We will get 1 from here, 4 from here. So let us write that as 5. From this y part, we will get 2 times y square. That is for sure. Then I will get minus 4y and minus 2y. This will become minus 6y. Then I will get 4 plus 1. This will also become 5. And this is equal to 14. So you can see that. Now if I simplify, my statement comes out to be 2 times x square, 2 times y square, that is 2x, that is minus 6y, and this will become minus 4 is equal to 0. And if I simplify, you can see that I am getting the equation of a circle. So this is how. So we have got the locus as circle. Now the second question is concerning this circle. What they are saying is, if I take this circle and plot this circle, so you can see that if I want to plot this circle, the center of the circle is at 1 minus 1 by 2 comma 3. So minus 1 by 2 would be here, 3 would be up, minus 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2. So center is nothing but minus 1 by 2 comma 3 by 2. So what they are saying is circle will go like this. So what they are saying is your circle intersects the x-axis at point A and B. So this becomes point A. This becomes point B. And then the y-axis at point C and D. This is C. This is D. Then find the area of the quadrilateral ABCD. So this is the next part of the question, that you find the area of A, C, B and D. This is the next question. Now you have got a quadrilateral whose area you need to find. You can see that clearly there were two parts of the question. First is the locus part. Now is this area part. So what we can do is basically we can apply the idea that if we have been given diagonals, then the area is nothing but half of multiplication of diagonals. So if you find the value of AB and multiply it with CD, we should be able to get the answer. Now this is not very difficult to find. You can find this extremely fast. The next type of problem, that is problem type 3, is nothing but equation of a straight line in various forms. Let us start with a very simple question that was asked in 2019. Now they have given an equation of a straight line that does not look like a straight line, looks like something from trigonometry. Now they are saying that this is a straight line, which quadrant will this line? So a very simple solution to this question would be, say, since this can only be a straight line and not a function in trigonometry, only if it becomes a constant. So if I just substitute some value of x, I will be able to figure out what is that equation. What I am trying to tell you is basically it can only be of this form. Otherwise sin x will get involved and it will not become a straight line. So if it is y is equal to constant, there are only two possibilities. Either it could be here or here. So answer can be first and third. This could be one of the answers, or first and second, or third and fourth. You can see that out of the options that are given to me. So now the A option says that second and third. So this is not possible. B option says that first, second and fourth. So first, second and fourth is also not possible. Then this sequence first, third and fourth. This is also not possible. So you can see that just by eliminating the option we can get the answer. I do not even need to satisfy a value to get an answer. Okay, so you need to be smart while doing such question. Next kind of question was asked in 2019. Question says that if a straight line passing through this point is such that it is intercepted portion between the axes is bisected at P, and the equation is equal to. Again a very simple question. They have given the point minus 3, 4. So minus 3 would be here, minus 4 would be here. So this is minus 3 comma 4. So what they're saying is its intercepted portion between the coordinate axes. So this intercepted portion in the coordinate axis is bisected at P. So now both of these are equal. Then the equation of the line is. So now what you can do is we can consider this is nothing but B. This is nothing but A. And if I do so, this becomes 0 comma B. This becomes A comma 0. Now if I apply the midpoint logic, then in the second step I will be able to write A plus 0 by 2 is equal to minus 3. So A comes out to be minus 6. Similarly, B plus 0 by 2 will become nothing but 4. So B comes out to be 8. Now we have x-intercept and y-intercept respectively. So in the next step, I can write the equation in intercept form. So x by A plus y by B equal to 1. If I apply this, then x by minus 6 plus y by 8 will be equal to 1. You can simplify and get the answer. If I simplify, you can see that this will get multiplied by 4. This will get multiplied by 3. And then what we'll have is 3 into 8, 24. So what we are getting is 4x minus 3y plus 24 equal to 0. Let us check the options. So option B comes out to be the correct answer. So importance in doing such kind of question lies in choosing the right kind of equation. So we can also choose a slope form or intercept form, some other form. Choose the right kind of appropriate form that gels in with the question so that solution becomes efficient. Now in 2019 question, they are saying that if a parallelogram ABCD, the coordinates of ABC are respectively this given, then the equation of the diagonal AD is. Parallelogram is given. Let us draw a parallelogram. This is how the parallelogram looks like. They have given the parallelogram as ABDC. And notice this order because this is very important. Now ABC are respectively given as 1 by 2, 1 comma 2. B is given as 3 comma 4. And you can see that the C point is given as 2 comma 5. What they are asking, find the equation of the diagonal AD. This is what we need to find. See now, if I want to find AD, now there are two ways to proceed. One is I should know the slope of the line AD because one point is already known. So I can apply point slope form. Or I should know 2 points on the line so that I can apply 2-point form. So right kind of form will depend upon finding two important information regarding the line. Now we can find another point. It is simpler. Why? Because diagonals of the parallelogram bisect each other. So I can get this point by applying bisection formula. So if I do so, this will become 2 plus 3, 5 by 2. And then 5 plus 4, 9 by 2. Now you can clearly see that you have got 2 points on the line. You can apply 2-point form and get the equation of diagonal AD. So in the next part only we can apply. So it will become y minus 2 by x minus 1 is nothing but 9 by 2 minus 2 by 5 by 2 minus 1. If I simplify, this becomes y minus 2 by x minus 1. This will become 9 minus 4 will become 5 and 5 minus 2 will become 3. I can cross multiply. So 5x minus 5. Your answer becomes 5x minus 3y plus 1 is equal to 0. So option C will satisfy. Okay. And the simple questions, nothing very complicated. This 2020 question says that two sides of a parallelogram are along the line. These two are given. If its diagonals intersects at 2, 4, then one of its vertices is. Now let us understand by drawing a small diagram what they are saying. They are saying that two sides of a parallelogram are along the line. So if I consider one of them is nothing but x plus y is equal to 3 and another one is nothing but x minus y plus 3 equal to 0. These are the two sides. So these two sides I don't know. Another thing they are saying that the point of intersection of the diagonals. So if I take the diagonals like this point of intersection, so let us again name it out, A, B, C, D and this is E. So this point is also given, this is given as nothing but 2, 4. So what they're asking is basically then one of its vertices is. See, one vertex I can directly get by finding this point of intersection. So for that vertex, I can just take their point of I can solve these two equations. So if I add them out, what will happen? This will become 2x is equal to 0. So x comes out to be 0. And if I put x equal to 0, y comes out to be 3. So this is a point that is nothing but point B. So this is nothing but 0, 3. See, this is 0, 3, this is 2, 4. So if I take this point as x1, y1, so then this point can also be very easily figured out. Why? Because in this second part, I can apply section formula. So D, if I want to find, it is not very difficult, I can apply section formula. So it comes out to be nothing but x1 plus 0 by 2 is equal to 2. So x1 becomes nothing but 4. And y1 plus 3 by 2, this comes out to be 4. So this becomes 8, and 8 minus 3 would be equal to 5. So y1 comes out to be 5. So now we know one more point, that is this x1 comma y1. This is already known. So now this point comes out to be nothing but 4, 5. Now once you have known this point, we'll move forward. Because if I check my options, 0, 3 is not matching. And also 4, 5 is not there in the option. So I will have to go forward and find the points A and C respectively. So now what you can do in order to find point A is, we can assume equation of line AD. Now see, this AD is parallel to nothing but BC. So what I can do is I can write directly the equation as nothing but. So I have taken the same part, this part I have borrowed from here. This is what we do in parallel lines. And this part, that is the constant part, that is what I have changed here. If I do so, I can directly get the equation of AD, or you can say that the slope is same. That is also one of the ways to do it. That is a little bit lengthy. Now since it is AD, it will pass through D. So we will be able to find the value of this C. So if I do it, then let us see what do we get. So if I satisfy, this will become 4 minus 5 plus C1 is equal to 0. So from here, the value of C1 becomes 1. So now we have got the value of AD. So your AD line looks something like this. Now since you know the equation of AD in the fourth part, what we can do is we can find the intersection of AD at BC. So AD is nothing but this, BC, AB is nothing but x plus y is equal to 3. Again, if you add this up, twice of x will be equal to 2, x comes out to be 1. And if x is equal to 1, y will be equal to 2. Let us satisfy and check once. Yeah, it works out. So you can see that now you have got this point A also. This came out to be 1, 2. And let us again check is 1, 2 in the option. You can see 1, 2 is also not there in the option. So you will have to find point C as well. So in the fifth step, again now we can apply section formula, because you know this point. And we know that this will bisect. So this point, if I take this as x2, y2, I can apply section formula and get this point. So what I can write is nothing but, in the next step, I can say that this 1 plus x2 by 2, this should be equal to nothing but 2. So you can see that x2, 1 plus x2 will be equal to 4. x2 comes out to be nothing but 3. And then what we can see next is nothing but 2 plus y1. This also we know, this will be equal to nothing but 4. So y1 plus 2 will be equal to 8, so y1 comes out to be 6. So you can see that another point would be 3, 6. Let us check. You can see that A option, now it matches. So what they wanted us to tell is nothing but the value of C. We have ultimately figured out all the vertices and got the answer. So in this manner, you can solve a question using section formula and combination of equation of straight lines. Now if I move on to this 2021 question, says that a man is walking on a straight line. The arithmetic mean of the reciprocals of the intercept of this line on the coordinate axis is 1 by 4. Now let us draw it. See, now the question itself is referring to nothing but intercepts of x and y axis. So it would make sense that we have these points charted out, A and B. Now what they're saying is the arithmetic mean of the reciprocals of the intercept on this line on the coordinate axis. So what they're given is 1 by A plus 1 by B ka arithmetic mean is equal to 1 by 4. So what they have ultimately given us is nothing but 1 by a plus 1 by b will be equal to 1 by 2, or in other words 2 by a plus 2 by b is equal to 1. If you look closely observe, these are the intercepts. This is the first part. The equation of the line can be written as x by a plus y by b equal to 1. You can see that it is as if that x equal to 2 and y equal to 2 are satisfying the equation of line. So what they have given you is a point on the line 2, 2. This is something very important to observe. Now 3 stones ABC are placed at point 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4 respectively. Then which of these stones are on the path of the man? So what they are saying is they are putting 3 stones. Now let us see that this is one stone 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3. You can clearly see that this 2, 2 will lie on the path of the person. So you can see that the B option becomes your answer. If I look into this 2023 question says that the straight line L1 and L2 passes through the origin and trisects the line segment of this line between the axes. So let us draw the diagram that I will always do. So what they are saying is 9x plus 5y equal to 24. If I put here x equal to 0, you can see that the value of y will become 9. So this is nothing but 9 here. So this point is 0, 9. And if I put y is equal to 0, x will become 5. So this point is nothing but 5, 0. And your line goes something like this. Now the line L1 and L2 pass through the origin and trisect this line segment between the axes. So now what is happening is one of those lines will go like this and then another line will go like this. M1, M2 are the slopes of this line L1 and L2. So let us say that this is M2. So the first one will become nothing but M1. Then the point of intersection of this with line L is. So now see, you can see that in order to solve this question, what are the steps that we will have to follow? So first step would be to find the value of M1 and M2. Second is we'll have to find the equation of this line. And third, we'll have to find point of intersection. So you can see that in these 3 simple steps you can solve this question. Now, if you want to find this M1, the logic would be to find this point and then you find this point. So in order to do that, what we are doing in our first step is we are applying section formula. So if it is a point of trisection, you can see that this and this will become equal. For when I am considering this point A and this will become compared to point A, the situation would be like this. This is my point A. This point is 0, 9. This point is nothing but 5, 0. This is 1:2. So if I apply section formula, this will become 0 plus 5 by 3. And if I apply section formula, the y coordinate will become nothing but 18 plus 0 by 3. So you can see that the point becomes 5 by 3, 6. This is your A point. Now you can see that if this is my A point and if I want to find the value of M1, I have got 2 points on this line. One is this point, origin, and another is nothing but the point A. So if I apply, if I want to find the slope, I can apply y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So this will become 6 by 5 by 3. So your answer becomes nothing but 18 by 5. You can obviously check my calculation. In order to find the slope of another line, now we can see that this is point B, this is 0, 9, and then this is 5, 0, and then this would be 2 and this would be 1 in this time. If I again apply section formula, this will become 10 plus 0 by 3, so 10 by 3, and y coordinate becomes 9 plus 0 by 3, so 9 by 3. So this point comes out to be nothing but 10 by 3, 3. If I want to find the value of M2, again I can apply again I can apply 2-point formula. So this will become 3 by 10 by 3, so 9 by 10. Now we have got the value of M1, M2. Now we can follow these 3 simple steps to get the answer. So this is a very simple question based on trisection. In fact, this question in its core form is also there in NCERT. Now let us look into this 2022 question. Question says that alpha 1, alpha 2 be the values of alpha of the point to be collinear. then the equation of the line passing through alpha 1, alpha 2 and making an angle pi by 3 with the positive direction of x-axis. So clearly you can see now, if I want to solve this question, there are 2-3 steps that we'll have to take. First would be to find values of alpha. So that is alpha 1, alpha 2. Second step would be to write equation of line, because we have been given two things, a point on the line and then nothing but the slope, that is tan of pi by 3. We have been given all the relevant things. If I can somehow find this first part, I can easily solve this question. Now for getting the first part, the step would be to make the area of triangle equal to 0. So alpha minus 3, 1, 2, 0, 1 and 1 alpha 1. Let us put this equal to 0. If you have this equal to 0, now you can see that you can easily open it along the first row. So it becomes alpha minus alpha plus 3 times 2 minus 1, this will become 1, and plus 1 into 2 alpha. So you can see that you have got a quadratic equation, minus alpha square plus 3 plus 2 alpha is equal to 0, or alpha square minus 2 alpha minus 3 is equal to 0. So from here you can see that if I write this as alpha minus 3 into alpha plus 1 equal to 0. And if I open, it will become alpha square minus 2 alpha minus 3. So two values of alpha, the alpha 1 can be considered, if I consider it as 3, alpha 2 will become minus 1. So now we have got the point. After this, you can follow these two steps and can easily get the answer. So very simple question. We are using the concept of collinearity that came from area and then applying the concept of equation of line to get the answer. Now this 2024 question says that the equation of two sides of the triangle AB and AC of a triangle are given respectively. So let us draw a small diagram. Question says that if this is A, B and C, they have given the equations of side AB, that is 4x plus y is equal to 14 and 3x minus 2y equal to 5. This is given to us. The point 2 comma minus 4 by 3 divides the third side internally in the ratio 2:1. This divides this in the ratio 2:1, and this point is given as 2 comma minus 4 by 3. This is, so I am continuously drawing the diagram. What will be the logical course of action? Let us write that down. So my first step would be to assume the point B as nothing but x2 comma y2. Assume the point C as nothing but x3 comma y3. And why am I doing this? Because if I have these points, then corresponding to this I can write this point with B point will satisfy the equation of AB. So from here I have got my first equation. Corresponding to C point, it will nothing but satisfy the equation of AC. So this becomes 3x3 minus 2y3 is equal to 5. And then once you have got this, you have got this condition that this is a point of internal bisection. So we can apply section formula and write x2 plus 2 times x3 by 3. This will be equal to 2, third equation. And then y2 plus 3 times y3 by 3 is equal to minus 4 by 3, fourth equation. You can see that using these 4 equations, we will be able to find the value of x2, y2, x3, y3. So after finding this, the next step would be, since you have x2 comma y2, this is one point on BC, and one they have already given 2 comma minus 4 by 3. We can apply 2-point form and get the final answer. Extremely simple question. You just have to write the condition, solve it, get the final answer. Now let us look into this fourth problem type. This fourth problem type talks about angle between lines. Now if two lines are given to us with slope m1 and m2, this is the angle between the lines. And important thing to note that the line will become parallel if the slope will become same. And the lines will become perpendicular if the slope m1 m2 becomes minus 1. Important idea here would be that if you have been given a line a1x plus by plus c is equal to 0, so a line parallel to this can be directly written as nothing but ax plus by plus c dash. The only thing that I have changed is nothing but the constant. And if a line is given to you, that is ax plus by plus c equal to 0, And if I want to write a perpendicular line, we'll exchange the coordinates of x and y, put a minus sign in between and introduce a new constant equal to 0. Now this is a very important technique, in fact a shortcut that we'll use in solving problems. One more important idea and very important question was based on this idea is nothing but, if you have been given the slopes of the three sides of a triangle, we saw how to use this idea earlier. So if three sides of a triangle, if the slope is m1, m2, m3, so this angle we can find using these two slopes. This angle we can find using m2, m3, and the last angle can be found using m1, m3. Now using this we can also tell what kind of triangle it is. Next important idea is nothing but, and this is the third important idea, the equations of the line passing through a point x1, y1 and making a angle alpha with a line that is given as y is equal to mx plus c. So you can see that what we will do is basically, let us say that m is equal to tan theta. So if I want to write the equation of two such lines, you can see that if this angle is theta, this is nothing but slope with x-axis. So the slope of this line and the inclination of this line will be nothing but theta plus alpha. So corresponding to that, the slope will become tan of theta plus alpha. And this is a very important idea. Similarly, you can see that here the slope, the alpha will get subtracted. Similarly, here the inclination will become theta minus alpha, or the slope will become tan of theta plus alpha. Now, if you know a point, you know the slope, you can write the equation of the line using point slope form. This is an important idea. We will use this to solve a very good question that came in JEE exam. Now, let us move on to this 2021 question. Question says that the intersection of three lines is an equilateral triangle, none of the above, isosceles triangle, right angle triangle. We need to figure that out. See, now if three lines are given to us, there are two ways to approach it. First way is to find the angle between the lines. So what I can do is basically I can find the angle between the lines. So here, if I have, and the slope of the first line is equal to nothing but 1. The slope of the second line would be nothing but minus 1 by 2. And the slope of the third line is nothing but minus 2. So now let us check. So now right angle triangle we can check because none of the lines, if I do m1 into m2, is coming out to be minus 1. So you can see that for none of the cases that I have, it is a right angle triangle, so this option is obviously not correct. Second is basically, we need to figure out the angle between any two lines. So if I look between line 1 and line 2, so here if I check this first, what I can write is the angle tan theta 1 would be equal to nothing but mod of m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2. And if I apply this, the answer will become nothing but 1 plus 1 by 2 by 1 minus 1 by 2. So if I simplify this, this is nothing but 3 by 2 by 1 by 2, this comes out to be 3. Second, now this would be more than enough between L2 and L3, let us check it out. So tan of theta 2, again we'll apply the same formula, m2 minus m3 upon 1 plus m1 m2 m3. We'll apply this formula, m2 is nothing but minus 1 by 2 plus 2 upon 1 plus 1 by 2 into 2, minus n will get cancelled out. So if I check out this, you can see that the answer that we are getting is nothing but numerator will become 3 by 2, denominator will become 2. So this becomes 3 by 4. Tan of theta 3 would be nothing but m3 minus m1 by 1 plus m1 m3. Now m3 is nothing but minus 2 minus 1 by 1 minus 2. You can see that this value comes out to be minus 3 by minus 1, it comes out to be 3. You can see that exactly two values of tan theta or the angle between the lines is same, and this will become nothing but an isosceles triangle. So just by finding the angle between the lines, we can figure out what kind of triangle it is. If I look into this 2022 question says that let m1 m2 be the slopes of two adjacent sides of a square of side A. So you can see that there is a square, and then question says that m1 and m2 are nothing but the sides. So if I take this as m1, this will become m2, and a is nothing but the side, so this becomes a. This is given to us. If one of the vertex of the square is nothing but, and let us say that this vertex is 10 times cos alpha minus sin alpha and 10 times cos alpha plus sin alpha. This is given to us. Now this is a very interesting question, one of the best questions that was asked on this idea in JEE Mains till now. So pay a lot of attention what I am doing in this question, because I have seen that people have given very lengthy solution to this question that is impossible to be done in 2 to 3 minutes. So observe how I am applying this idea. Now what they have given is basically they have given the equation of a diagonal. So now we can see that this is this diagonal. Now how do I know that this is this diagonal and not the diagonal passing through the point A? I know this because you can satisfy the point and check. Even if you closely observe, so if you put in place of x 10 cos alpha minus sin alpha, in place of y nothing but 10 cos alpha plus sin alpha, you will observe that these are not coming out to be equal. So this is the diagonal BD and not the diagonal AC. This is the first thing to observe. Once you have observed that, since it is a square, now what I can do is I can find this perpendicular distance. If I find this perpendicular distance, you can see that it will be half of the diagonal. Now diagonal in this case would be nothing but a root 2. So half of diagonal will be nothing but a by root 2. So if I find this distance, it will be equal to a by root 2. Let us figure this out. So what you have is nothing but a by root 2. This will be equal to nothing but, if I apply distance formula of this point from this line, and if I put the points, this will become 10 times cos alpha minus sin alpha whole square plus 10 times cos alpha plus sin alpha whole square minus 10 का mod, ठीक है, and divide by nothing but root of cos alpha minus sin alpha का whole square plus cos alpha plus sin alpha का whole square. This we can do. So once you have done this, and why are we doing this? There is a reason behind that. If I simplify the numerator, you can say that, you can see that 10 can be taken outside. And if I open this sin square, so this what will happen is there will be 2 cos square thetas, 2 sin square thetas. So if you add, it will become 2. There is minus 1 from here. The denominator again, if you simplify, it will become nothing but root of 2. So what you have is nothing but a by root 2. You can do the calculation and check. So what we have done is we have got the value of a is nothing but 10. In the second part, now from this condition, if I put the value of a here, so a was nothing but 10. So I am talking about this condition, a square plus 11a by this condition. So if I put the a as 10, so this will become 100 plus 110 plus 3 times m1 square plus m2 square will be equal to 220. You can see that this 100 will become 210. So m1 square plus m2 square, 10 will be remaining, will be equal to 10 by 3. Now see, we know that since m1 and m2 have an angle of 90 degree between them, so m1 into m2 is also equal to minus 1. Now we can solve them and get the value of m1, m2. And interestingly, from there we can directly get the value of alpha. We will see how. See, now once you have got this, so what you can do from here is nothing but, I can substitute the value. So m1 square, this will become 1 by m1 square will be equal to 10 by 3. So what will happen is this will become 3 and this will become 1 by 3. So if you add, it becomes 10 by 3. You can observe that. If you can observe, fine. If you can't observe, it is okay. So from here, the value of m1, there can be two values. We are taking 1 as nothing but root 3. If it becomes root 3, the value of m2 will become minus 1 by root 3. So we have figured out this. Now why is this important to know? Because now you can see that if I find the slope of this diagonal, so in the third step, now this is important, we are looking into the slope of diagonal. If you look into diagonal, what will be the slope? So it would be nothing but minus of a by b. So that will become nothing but the slope of diagonal. So that will be nothing but minus of cos alpha minus sin alpha divided by cos alpha plus sin alpha. If I simplify, this can, if I divide also, can be written as tan alpha minus 1 by tan alpha plus 1, and this can be written as tan of alpha minus pi by 4. Now we can see very simply that the slope of this line, and this is interesting, you are looking into a square, the slope of this line, so this line is nothing but alpha minus pi by 4. You can see that if I add pi by 4 to this slope, I will get the slope of this line. So slope of one of the lines will be nothing but alpha, and the slope of another line I will have to subtract, so this will become nothing but alpha minus pi by 2. If you observe this, you can see that you have got the value of m1 and m2. So one of the slope, let us assume m1 will be equal to alpha, it will be equal to nothing but tan alpha. So now why is this important? Because what we have figured out is the value of m1, that was nothing but root 3. So you can see that alpha corresponding to this comes out to be 60 degree. Now this is a very interesting trick that we have used to figure out the value of alpha. Let us again go back what we have done. In the first step, what I did was basically I figured out the distance between the diagonal and the point A. With the help of this, we were able to get the value of A. In the next step, what I did was nothing but substituted this in the condition that was given in the question, figured out the value of m, and in the third part I figured out the slope of the diagonal and was able to connect the value of alpha with the slope of diagonal, and using that I was able to get the value of alpha is 60 degree. Once I have got that, now you can see that if I want to find the value of this expression, alpha I know, A I know, easily I can calculate the answer and get the final answer. So if you think like this, it becomes easy, otherwise it becomes too much calculation that is very difficult to do in 2 to 3 minutes. Now let us look into this 2024 question. Question says that a line passing through a point 9, 0 makes an angle 30 degree. There is a line that passes through 9, 0 makes an angle 30 degree with the positive direction of x-axis. If this line is rotated about A through an angle of 15 degree in the clockwise direction. So you can see that along the clock we need to rotate 15 degree. So the new line will become something like this. Since we have rotated this by 15 degree in this direction, then this angle will also become 15 degree. Then its equation in the new position is. So what will happen? You can see that the inclination has changed. So equation will become y minus 0. Equation will become y minus 0 by x minus 9. This will be equal to tan of 15 degree. Now tan 15 degree is not very difficult to find. It can be written as tan of 45 degree minus 30 degree. So this can be very easily found by applying formula of tan A plus B. So tan 45 minus tan 30 degree upon 1 plus tan 45 degree into tan 30 degree. So this becomes 1, this becomes 1 by root 3, and this becomes 1 plus 1 by root 3. So answer becomes root 3 minus 1 by root 3 plus 1. Now we can check the options from here and get the answer, nothing very complicated. 2024 another question came that said the line segment joining these 2 points subtend at angle pi by 4 at the origin, then the absolute value of the product of the possible values of alpha. Let us draw a small diagram because diagram always makes our life easier. These are the coordinate axes. The line segment joining the 2 points 5, 2. So let us say that this is 5, 2, and another point is given as nothing but 2, A. This subtends an angle 45 degree at the origin. So this angle is given as nothing but pi by 4 or 45 degree. Okay. Now what they are saying is basically then the product of the all possible values. So you can see that what they have ultimately given is the angle between lines OA and OB. So if I write the slope of OA, that is nothing but m1, it will be nothing but, this is 2, alpha, so 2, A, so can be written as nothing but 2 by A by 2. Similarly, the value of m2 can be written using 2-point form and can be written as nothing but 2 by 5. Now what they have given is nothing but the angle between the lines is nothing but pi by 4. This will be equal to mod of m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2. I can put the values and get the answer. This becomes 1. This is a by 2 minus 2 by 5. This is 1 plus a by 2 into 2 by 5. Now let us take, so now you can see that this you will be able to interpret in two different ways. So now this becomes a question of modulus. I can open the modulus sign. So first let us simplify and then open the modulus sign. So this becomes modulus of 5a minus 4 by 5 into 2 will be equal to 10. 10 plus 2a, come on. So if I open it with a positive sign, it will look something like this. 5a minus 4 is equal to 10 plus 2a. So thrice of a is equal to 14, a becomes 14 by 3. And if I take the minus sign, this will become nothing but 5a minus 4 is equal to 10 plus 2a. So minus 10 minus 2a with a minus sign, yes. So now this will become nothing but, this will become 7a, and minus 10 plus 4 will become minus 6. So a becomes minus 6 by 7. Now what they are asking is basically these are the two values of a that we have got. Then the absolute value of the product of these values. So if I do a product, so this will be 14 by 3 into minus 6 by 7 mod. This is what they are asking. This will get cancelled out. This will also get cancelled out. So answer comes out to be 4. Let us check the options. If you check the option, A option is given as 4 and that becomes answer to our question. Now if I look into this next question of 2024, it says that there is a line 3x plus 4y is equal to 12. If I draw this line, this is how it is. This line is given as nothing but 3x plus 4y equal to 12. This is intersected and they have taken 2 points P and Q on this line such that OPQ is equal to 90 degree. So let me draw what they are saying. So if I take P here, so what they are saying is you draw a 90 degree angle like this and then you will get a Q here and then this OP and a POQ that is given as nothing but 90 degree. Now they have defined some quantity L as nothing but OP square, PQ square and OQ square, and then they are asking nothing but the value of GIF less than or equal, GIF of L basically, that is what they are asking. So how will we do this question? So now you can see that if this is 90 degree, they also told us that this triangle is isosceles triangle. That would mean this angle will be 45 degree and this will also be 45 degree. So if I want to write the slope of these two lines, then what can I do? The slope of one line will become tan of theta minus 45 degree and tan of theta plus 45 degree. This is the exact result that we saw here. So this will be the slope of one line, this will be the slope of another line. Got it. So you can see that this point Q, this will be plus 45. So corresponding to this we will get Q and corresponding to this you will get nothing but P. Now once I have done that, I can get this slope. Let us now put the values. So this will become tan theta minus tan 45 degree by 1 plus tan of theta into tan 45 degree. Now you can see that the slope of this line, that is nothing but tan theta, would be nothing but minus 3 by 4. So let us use that value and figure out the values. So this becomes minus 3 by 4. This becomes minus 1. Minus 3 by 4 and 1. If I put this value, this becomes minus 7. And this will become 1. So answer comes out to be minus 7. Now this is minus 7. So automatically, since this is at a 90 degree, you can write this answer as 1 by 7. If you want to find, you can do the calculation and figure it out. In the second part, the line corresponding to OP. If I want to write the equation of this line, this will become y minus 0 because it passes through origin. This will be equal to minus 7. So you can see that this point comes out to be nothing but y is equal to minus 7x. Similarly, if I want to find point OQ, so y minus 0 by x minus 0 will become 1 by 7. From here, y comes out to be nothing but x by 7. I think this point OP and PQ are written in the opposite order. You can correct it. But it largely does not make any difference to the answer. Now, in the third part, we are going to take intersection with the line 3x plus 4y is equal to 12. If I put this value here, so this will become 3x. This will become 4 into minus 7x is equal to 12. You can solve this and get the value of point P. Similarly, we can take the same line and replace this value of y as nothing but x by 7 equal to 12. You can solve this and get the point q. So now see, what we have done is using this concept of angle between lines. We have figured out the value of point P. Now you know this point, you know this point. If you know this point, the next step, fourth step would be very simple. We will apply distance formula and find the value of OP, OQ and PQ. And once we have done this, we can substitute here and get the answer. If I move towards this 2019 question, it says that a straight line L at a distance 4 units from the origin makes an angle. So what they have given is nothing but a straight line L which is at a 4 unit distance from the origin. This is given to us, makes an angle 60 degree with the line y is equal to minus x. So see, y is equal to minus x is a line that goes like this at an angle minus 45 degree from here. So what they are saying is it makes an angle 60 degree from here. So from here you can see that this angle is given to you. This is 60 degree. If this is 60 degree, you can see that this will become 15 degree. Now where they want us to write the equation of line L. Now you can see that perpendicular distance is given and the angle of the perpendicular distance from positive direction of x-axis is given. So this is the perfect recipe for applying the normal form of equation of a line. So x cos omega plus y sin omega is equal to p can be applied. Now in this, we know that the value of p is 4, the value of omega is 15 degree. We can substitute the value and get the answer. Now next type of problem, that is type 5, is nothing but questions based on location of a point. So now if a point is located on the same side of the line, then the condition is very simple. If you satisfy the points in the equation or the expression of the line, it will give you the same sign. But if it is located on the opposite side of the line, then they will give you opposite signs. This is the logic. Now this JEE 2024 question says that R be the interior region between these two lines containing the origin. Then the set of all the values of for which this point lies in region R. So now first let us draw this region. So now if I put y equal to 0, x will be equal to 1 by 3. And if I put x equal to 0, y will be equal to 1. So you can see that the first line would be something like this. This is 1 by 3 comma 0 and this is nothing but 0 comma 1. Another line if I want to draw, and you can see that this says that if I put y equal to 0, x will become 5. And if I put y is equal to 0, sorry, x equal to 0, y becomes 5 by 2. So you can see that such kind of a line will be there. This point is nothing but 0 comma 5 by 2. So this is my line 2 and the first one was nothing but my line L1. Now question says that the region in which the containing the origin. So you can see that we are talking about this region. Containing origin. So origin and this point should, so if I put origin in the first line and in this part you can see that it will give me a positive sign. So it is nothing but L1 greater than 0. So if I am putting my point also, that is a square comma a plus 1, it should also give you the same sign. So if I satisfy the points, it should be greater than 0. So a square, so this becomes 3a square minus a plus 1 should be greater than 0. So 3a square minus a should be greater than 0. So a into 3a minus 1 should be greater than 0. So you can see that from wavy curve method there is 1 0 then 1 by 3. So answer should either lie here or here. Now let us, this is the first part, let us go into the second part. The second part of the problem says that for the line, if I put again 0, you can see that it becomes negative. So L2 is coming out to be smaller than 0. So a square comma a plus 1 should also be smaller than 0. So a square plus 2 times a plus 1 minus 5 should also be smaller than 0. Yes. If I simplify this, this becomes a square plus 2a minus 3 is smaller than 0. I can simplify and write this as nothing but a plus 3 into a minus 1. This is smaller than 0. So if I simplify, you can see that there is a point minus 1. Sorry, there is a point minus 3 and there is a point plus 1. we are talking about the region that are between this. So this is where, so the answer of this part becomes minus 3 comma 1. Now both of this should happen simultaneously. So we are talking about intersection of both of these regions. If I take intersection, what will happen in the third part? When we are saying that it should be here. And another point that we are saying is between minus 3 and 1. So this is the answer that we are getting for this question. The answer becomes minus 3 to 0 and 1 by 3 to 1. So option B satisfies my conditions. JEE Mains 2020, again this question says the point on the line L, this is the line which is equidistant from the coordinate axis. Now this is interesting. Now let us draw a diagram and understand. So let us draw this line. If I put y equal to 0, x is 5. So this point is 5 comma 0. If I put x equal to 0, y is equal to 3. So this is 3 comma 0 comma 3. So once you have this, if I draw this line, this is how the line looks like. Now what they're saying is points which are equidistant from the coordinate axis. You can see that equidistance from the coordinate axis would mean either it should lie on y is equal to x, because all the points in this line is y is equal to x, or it could lie on y is equal to minus x. This is one more scenario. So what we need to find is whether both of these point of intersections are possible or not. Okay, this we need to figure out. So if I put y is equal to x, so this point if I want to find, in this same equation I will put find the intersection with y with x. So if I put y is equal to x, this will become nothing but 3x plus 5x is equal to 15. That would mean 8x is equal to 15. So x will become 15 by it is coming out to a positive quantity. So this point is possible. So first quadrant answer is definitely possible. If I move on to this, I will have to put y is equal to minus x. And if I do so in this, so this will become nothing but 3x minus 5x is equal to 15. So minus 2x becomes 15. So x becomes minus 15 by 2. Again x is negative, this is also fine. So you are also getting this point. So if I figure out this, so you can see that second quadrant answer is coming. So first and second quadrant should be the answer, that is option C. Now if I move forward, there is this 2020 question says that the set of all possible values of theta in the interval 0 comma pi for which this point and this point lie on the same side of the line. So what you have is basically this line. Equation is given to us. Question says the set of all the possible values of theta for which 1 comma 2. So if I check the value for 1 comma 2. So 1 comma 2, if I put, so 1 plus 2 minus 1 will be greater than 0. I do not need exact calculation, just the sign. So theta, they should also have the same sign. So sin theta plus cos theta minus 1 should also be greater than 0. Okay. So this should also be, so you can see that what we have is sin theta plus cos theta should be greater than 1. This is what I have. Now either you can check the options or you can solve this inequality if you know how to solve it. I will solve the inequality. So this is the first part. In the second we solve the inequality. So we multiply and divide by 1 by root 2, because this is the technique to solve such kind of questions. And this is a cos theta plus b sin theta. So this becomes sin theta plus pi by 4. This is greater than sine of pi by 4. So this is nothing but greater than sine of pi by 4, or 1 by root 2, the same thing. 1 by root 2. Okay, so graphically now I can solve. So graph will start from here and go like this. And so once you have this, now let us understand. So what they are saying is 1 by root 2, because we have divided both the sides by root 2. Now this point, if I put 0, so this is nothing but graph of sine of theta plus pi by 4. So if I put theta 0, then this will become 1 by root 2. So now what we want is basically those values of theta for which this is upper than this line that we have drawn, this line. It should be more than this line. So it is more than this line between this interval. So now you can see that this point, so this is the interval that I am looking for. So one point is definitely 0, how to find this point? So for finding this, I will equate this sin theta plus pi by 4 to nothing but 1 by root 2. From here I will get the point of intersection. So one is obviously theta equal to 0. And another one will come when we put in place of theta pi by 2. Pi by 2. So this will become sine of pi by 3 pi by 4. That will again become nothing but 1 by 2. So this point becomes pi by 2. So now the answer to this question becomes 0 to pi by 2. That is option. If I look into this 2019 question says that you have got these two equations, bounded would be what? So we need to understand what is happening here. So if I draw this first, y minus y ka mod is smaller than or equal to 2. So you can see that this can be split into two parts. And one, this will lie between the region minus 2 to 2. So what does this mean? So for this you will have to draw the equation of y minus x. So see y minus x, so there are two parts. Equal to will come when this becomes equal to 2. So if I put y equal to 0, x is equal to 2. And if I put x equal to 0, y is equal to minus 2. So you can see that if I want to draw this line would be like this. And if I put x minus y equal to minus 2, if I put y equal to 0, x is minus 2. And if I put x equal to 0, y is equal to 2. So we are looking into these two lines. This is what it is. So now what they are saying is the region between these two lines. So fundamentally when we are writing this inequality, what we want is the region between these two lines. Similarly, if I take this second part, that is nothing but x plus y ka mod is smaller than or equal to 2. This would mean x plus y lies between minus 2 and 2. So now if I draw one line, x plus y is equal to 2, so you can see that this line would be like this, another line would be like this. And once you have this line, what we want is nothing but the region between the lines. Now if you superimpose both of these regions, now let us see what are we getting. So if I superimpose both of these regions, then what am I getting is one line like this, another line like this, another line like this. So what we are getting is nothing but this region. Now because of the slope of the lines, you can see that if I try and find this angle will become pi by 2. This will become pi by 2. Will become pi by 2, and everything is equal, so this will become a square. So now if I look into the option, the square of area 16 units. Now why 16 square units? Because you can see that this is 2. So this distance from here to here becomes 2. From here to here will again become 2. So this is 4. So this diagonal is 4, and since diagonals are perpendicular, we will be able to write the area as nothing but 4 into 4, that is 16. This can only be done if the diagonals are perpendicular, otherwise we can't do this. Now let us look into type 6 problem type, that is nothing but distance form of a line. Now this form of a line is also known as parametric form of a line. This goes like this, that if I have a point x1, y1 on a line, and if I want to write a coordinate of a new point x, y, and the inclination of this line is given as theta, so this can be written as nothing but x minus x1 by cos theta is equal to y minus y1 by sin theta is equal to r, where r is nothing but the distance between the first and the second point. This form is known as nothing but distance form of a line or a parametric form of a line. I can also get the value of x from here, that becomes a formula, but this is the more feasible way to remember it. Now there was this question in 2024 that looks like a proxy question based on this, and minded that sin theta and cos theta are getting involved in the calculation, so some trigonometry will come into place. So most of the times we will use as a method of last resort, because we do not want to go into trigonometry unnecessarily into a question. So now this question looks like a question of distance form of a line, but it is not. Why? Because the question is very simple. Question says that if you have a parallelogram ABCD, and what they have given is the coordinates of A are nothing but alpha comma beta. The coordinates of B are nothing but 1 comma 0. The coordinates of C are nothing but gamma comma delta, and the coordinates of D are nothing but 1 comma 2. Now they have also unnecessarily given the value of AB, that is root 10. The points A and C lie on a line, so corresponding to this they have also given that if I draw AC, the equation of this line is given to me as nothing but thrice of y is equal to 2x plus 1. This is given to me, though it is not required in this question. What they are asking is what is the value of these four. So now what you can do in this question is, if I consider the diagonal BD, we know that they will bisect each other. So from here, if I apply midpoint formula, it will become 1, 1. And then again you can apply section formula and get the final answer. So now I will apply section formula in this blue line. So that will become alpha plus gamma by 2. This is equal to 1. So from here, alpha plus gamma comes out to be 2. And similarly, beta plus delta by 2 is equal to 1. So from here, beta plus delta becomes 2. If you put the value, get the final answer, there is no issue with this. Now let us look into this question that was asked in 2019. Question says that you find the slope of a line that passes through 2, 3. So this is, let this be the line. Intersecting the line x plus y is equal to 7. This line at a distance of 4 units from here. So what they want is the slope of this line. See, now this theta is getting involved. So now you can write this point in the form of parametric. So x minus, so this point is nothing but x comma y. So I can write this as x minus 2 by cos theta is equal to y minus 3 by sin theta is equal to r, that is 4. You can see that the value of x here comes out to be nothing but 2 plus 4 cos theta. The value of y comes out to be 3 plus 4 sin theta. Once you have got this, you can see that this point will satisfy. This is the first part. This will satisfy nothing but the equation of the line x plus y equal to 7. So let us do that. Then x plus y is equal to 7. I will substitute this. So this will become 2 plus 4 cos theta plus 3 plus 4 sin theta is equal to 7. So this becomes 5. Then 4 times sin theta plus cos theta is equal to 7. If I do this, sin theta plus cos theta will come out to be 2 by 4 or 1 by 2. Solve from here and get the value of theta. It is not very difficult to be done and get the final answer. So you can see that like this we can approach this question. If I look into this JEE Mains 2022 question says that a line with the slope greater than 1. So what they have said is m is greater than 1. First information. Passes through a point 4, 3. Of course, this passes through a point 4, 3. This point is it. And intersects the line. Another line is given. X minus y minus 2 equal to 0. At a point B. If the length of the segment AB is given as nothing but root 29 by 3, B also lies on this line. So see, exactly same question. We have to do the exact same steps. So what we are going to do, let me write the steps. We are going to take the point B as nothing but x1, y1. In the second step, we are going to apply distance formula. So x1 minus 4 by cos theta is equal to y1 minus 3 by sin theta is equal to root 29 by 3. From here x1, y1 we will take and satisfy the equation of line x1 minus y1 is equal to 2. We will get the value of x1, y1. Once we have got the value of x1, y1, I can check the options in the fourth step. This is how you can do this. Now let us look into this type 7 problem type. This type talks about length of perpendicular from point on a line. So now you have this very famous formula which talks about a point x1, y1 and the perpendicular distance from a line ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So the answer is nothing but mod of ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by root of a square plus b square. This is a very famous formula. And another important formula is basically distance between parallel lines. The parallel lines are given, and importantly these two parts need to be same. If they are same, only then you can apply this formula and write the answer. And this is a very important thing. Coefficient of x and y should be same. Now there is this 2022 question. Question says that R be the point 3, 7. Though there is a line that is given, there is a point that is given. So this is given as 3, 7. P and Q be the 2 points on this line. So there is a point P here and there is a point Q here. The equation of the line is given as x plus y equal to 5. Such that PQR is an equilateral triangle. If I join PQR, what I am getting is nothing but an equilateral triangle. That would mean this angle is equal to 60 degree. All the angles are 60 degree. Then the area of triangle PQR is. See, if you want to find the angle of area of an equilateral triangle, the answer is root 3 by 4 a square. So only thing that you need to find is the side length. Now if I drop a perpendicular from here, this will become D. Now if I can get this D in this right angle triangle, this base will become nothing but a by 2. So if I can get D, then I can write a tan 60 degree. That would be nothing but D by a by 2. So this is nothing but root 3. And D we can find using perpendicular distance formula. So you can see that your value of A becomes 2D by root 3. If I can find A from here, substitute here, I should get my answer. So for this you will have to go one step further and find the value of D. Now D is nothing but perpendicular distance. We have a direct formula for this. So it will become 3 plus 7 minus 5 mod by root 2. So this becomes 10 minus 5 by root 2. Now the calculation is very simple. You take the value of D here, put it here, get the value of A, put it here, get the final answer. Very simple question, asked in nothing but 2022. In 2024, question says that let A be the point of intersection of these two lines and B be the point of intersection of these two lines. Then the distance of the point P from the line AB. Now let us understand. So you can see the first set of lines are given. Let us call this line as L1, this is L2. So their point of intersection is nothing but A. This is L1, this is L2. Then you can see that there are two more set of lines. This is L3 and this is L4. So there is L3 and L4. So this is L3, this is L4, and their point of intersection is given as nothing but B. So you can see that if I find the point of intersections, I will be able to get A and B respectively because all the equations are given. Once I have got this, I can write the equation of line AB. And then what they are saying is from P, so there is a point P given. So from this point P, that is nothing but 5 minus 2. What is this perpendicular distance from AB? So what are the steps that we are going to follow? The first step is to find point A. Second step would be to find point B. Third step would be to find equation of AB using 2-point form. And fourth step would be to apply distance formula and get the value of D. Using these 4 steps, we can easily solve this question, nothing very difficult. If I look into 2020, question was that a line is given. Now this is interesting. What they have done is, let me draw. So if a line is given and this is at a distance 1 by root 5 and 2 by root 5 from these lines respectively. So you can see that this is the question based on parallel lines because the slope from here you can see is nothing but 2. The slope from here also is 2. The slope here is also 2. So you can see that this is a question based on parallel lines. That should be the first identification that you should have. So we are talking about parallel lines. If they are talking about parallel lines, the first thing you should do is make the coefficient of x and y same. So the first line is nothing but 2x minus y plus 3 equal to 0. Now what they are saying is, if the line this is at a distance 1 by root 5, from the line. So this line can also be simplified and written as 2x minus y plus alpha by 2. So distance between them is nothing but 1 by root 5. So now let us apply the formula. This is the first part. So formula is basically c1 minus c2. So alpha by 2 minus 3 का mod divided by root of a square plus b square. So 2 square plus 1 square. This is given as 1 by root 5. So what we will get is, this will get cancelled out. So alpha by 2 minus 3 is equal to plus minus 1. So if I take plus 1, alpha by 2 will be equal to 4, alpha becomes 8. And if I take minus sign, alpha by 2 minus 3 will be equal to minus 1, alpha by 2 becomes 2, alpha becomes 4. We have got the answer. Now let us do the second part. Second part of the question says that the distance from the other line. So 2x minus y plus 3 equal to 0. And another line is nothing but if I divide by 3, so this will become 2x minus y plus beta by 3 equal to 0. Now distance between these two lines are given as 2 by root 5. Again apply the same formula, get the value of beta. So beta by 3 minus 3 ka mod by root 5, this will be equal to 2 by root 5. Will get cancelled out. Beta by 3 minus 3. This will be equal to plus minus 2. Again if I take plus sign, the answer will be equal to 5. So beta becomes nothing but 15. And if I take minus sign, beta by 3, it will become minus 2. So beta by 3 becomes 1, beta becomes 3. So you can see that you have got all the values of alpha, beta. Find sum of all of these values. If you find the sum of these values, you get your final answer. Nothing very difficult, very simple question. In 2022, question says that alpha beta be at a unit distance from these two set of lines. P lies below L1 and above L2. So let us first draw what is happening, because otherwise this question can become really tough in terms of calculation. So L1 is nothing but 3x minus 4y plus 1 equal to 12. If I put y equal to 0, x is nothing but minus 4. And if I put x equal to 0, y is nothing but equal to 3. So if I draw this line, this is my first line, this is L1. That is nothing but 3x minus 4y plus 12 equal to 0, first line. And if I try and draw it for the second line, it is x plus 6 by 11. So if I put y equal to 0, x is minus 11 by 8, somewhere here. And if I put y is equal to 0, if I put x equal to 0, y is equal to minus 11 by 6, somewhere here. This line goes like this. You can see that what they are saying is that talking about alpha and beta be at a unit distance from each other, such that P lies below L1. So below L1 would mean this region below L1. And then above L2, so this would mean this region. You can see that we are talking about this potential region. So this is the region we are talking about, and you can very well see that origin also lies in this region. So this is very important to notice, that origin lies in this region. Origin lies in this region. This is very important point to notice. Now what they are saying is, now there is a point alpha comma beta. Now let us go to alpha comma beta. This is a point such that distance from this is also 1, distance from this is also 1. So now let us write. So if that is so, if I find the distance from the first line, it will become 3 alpha minus 4 beta plus 12 ka mod divided by root of a square plus b square will become 5 is equal to 1. Now see that if you want to remove this mod, this point is going to generate, since it is in this region, same as this origin. So if I put origin, because they are both in the same region, so corresponding to origin, you can see that if I find the value of this expression, it is going to be greater than 0. So if I am putting alpha comma beta, this should also be greater than 0. So this modulus should open with a positive sign. This is the important part, because if you do not do this, it will become a lengthy question. Second is basically, if I look into the second line is nothing but 8x plus 6y. Again, if I put in this also the origin, so let us first find the distance. So it will become 8 alpha plus 6 beta plus 11 ka mod. The root will become nothing but 10. This is equal to 1. So what again we will want to clear this. Now in this also, if you satisfy, so it is 8x plus 6y plus 11. If you put origin, it will still be greater than 0. You can see that this modulus should also open with a positive sign. See, now you have got two equations, two unknowns. In the third step, we are going to solve and find the value of alpha comma beta. Now once you have figured that out, what they want is basically the value of 100 times alpha plus beta. That is not very difficult to calculate. But so this idea of basically using the concept of region and location to interpret the modulus is an important concept applied in this question. Now let us look into this 2023 question. Question says that let the equation of two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. This is given. Find the and the equation of one of the diagonals is also given. Find the distance of A from the other diagonal. So let us draw. So what they have given is a parallelogram. This is A, this is B, this is C, and this is the order of points given. So I have drawn it in the order. Now they have not given which side is what. The equations are given, but it is not being told which side is what. So I cannot move forward. What I can say is basically AC's equation is given. So if I join EC, I know the equation of this line. This is nothing but 3x plus 7y equal to 23. This is given to me. Another thing is basically, so now what the first thing I will do is find the intersection point of the lines that is given to me. So if I take 2x minus 3y equal to minus 23 and 5x plus 4y equal to 23 and add them up, I am trying to find their point of intersection. So if I try and solve them, this will become nothing but 7x and this will become nothing but plus y. This will become 0. You can see that y will be equal to minus 7x. I put it in any of the equations I am putting in the first equation to 2x plus 21x will be equal to minus 23. So x comes out to be minus 1. If x is minus 1, corresponding to y comes out to be 7. So you can see that you have got this point minus 1 comma 7. Minus 1 comma 7, if you just observe, it is not satisfying this equation. So this is either point B or D. I am assuming it to be B. So this point is minus 1 comma 7. And if this is minus 1 comma 7, I can assume one of the lines to be 2x minus 3y equal to minus 20. There is no harm in doing it. And this I can take as nothing but 5x plus 4y equal to 23. So now just getting this point B gave me a lot of clarity that where do the point of intersection of these two line lies. So it is not an EC. This is basically fundamentally the point B. Now what is the question? Now what they are saying is distance of A from the other diagonal. So if I draw this other diagonal, what they want me to find is this perpendicular distance D. This is what the question is. And then they are asking 50D square. So now how will I proceed? So now these are the steps that I am going to follow. My first step would be, the first step I have already taken. The next step, second step would be, if I figure out the point of intersection of 2x plus 3y, so I am calling this as point of intersection of AB and diagonal AC will give me point A. Once I have got this, you know that basically that midpoint of D and B will be this point E, and E will lie on the diagonal AC. So what I will do is I will take midpoint of B and D, satisfy into line and get the point D. Now what you have got in the fourth step, we will find equation of BD. Once you have figured out equation of BD, we can apply distance formula and get the final answer. So you can see that in this 5 steps we can easily solve this question, but this visualization in the first step was the most critical thing that was difficult to do. If I move towards this 2024 question, it is a simple question. In fact, an NCERT question says that distance of this point from this line measured parallel to this. So there is a line like this, there is a point like this. We want to measure this distance but parallel to another line, not the perpendicular distance. So what I will do is basically I want a parallel line corresponding to this. So that parallel line will become root 3 minus y plus 1. So instead of this constant, then I will apply a new constant. I will put here c is equal to, so this is the parallel line. In order to get the value of c, I will put 2 comma 3 here. So that will become 2 root 3 minus 3 plus c equal to 0. The value of c comes out to be 3 minus 2 root 3. So as a result, you have got the equation in the third step. My equation of this line is nothing but this. So what I have got is nothing but equation of this line. So let us name the point. This is A. I want the value of AB. So now what I am going to do in the fourth step is nothing but find point of intersection with the other line. So what is the other line that is given? 2x minus 3y plus 28 equal to 0. Once you have got this in the fifth, apply distance formula and get the final answer. This will be easy to implement, not a very difficult question. Even this is there in your NCERT miscellaneous exercises. Now let us look into type 8 problem type, that is nothing but foot and image of a point on a line. So now what we are talking about is, if you have a line and point P is given, if I drop a perpendicular, this point is known as nothing but foot of the perpendicular, and if I take the image of this I is nothing but the image. So now we have a formula for this. You can apply this formula to get the value of the foot. Important thing, there is no root here in the denominator, and if you apply this formula, the formula is exactly same. There is an additional 2 here. You will be able to get the image. Now direct formula based questions are asked on this idea. Another is nothing but this whole idea of images. Now this is very simple. You can read through this point. This is nothing very complicated. We have been using this quite often. Now if this question is given to us, find the image of this point in this line. So this is like a direct question. The image of this point in this line lies on which of these curves? We will find the image and will satisfy one of the 4 options and get the answer. So let me write the formula. So x minus x1, if I want to find the image by A, it will be equal to 1. Y minus y1 by B, that will be minus 1. And then minus 2 times ax1, if in this equation will satisfy the point, 3 minus 5 plus 1 by a square plus b square. This is what we will get. So from here you will be able to get the value of the image of the point. So minus 2 by 2 will come. This will become 4. So this will also become minus 2. So this will cancel out. We are getting 2. If I compare this, I will be able to get my value of x. That will be equal to 2. So x comes out to be 5. And if I compare the other part, y minus 5 will be equal to minus 2. So 5 minus 2 comes out to be 3. So I have got my point. Now you can satisfy the options and check. Now if I look into this 2020 question says that L denotes the line in the xy plane with x and y intercepts at 3 and 1. So if you want to write the equation of line, it is x by 3 plus y by 1 equal to 1. Then the image of this point in this line is, so you can write the equation of line is x plus 3y is equal to 3, or x plus 3y minus 3 equal to 0. So you can see that directly we have got the equation of line first. In the second, I will apply the formula. So x plus 1 by a is equal to y plus y1 by b is nothing but minus 2 times. Satisfy this point in the equation of the line. So that will become minus 1. 4 into 3 is 12. So minus 12 minus 3 by a square plus b square, that will become 1 square plus 3 square. So if I simplify this, this becomes x plus 1 by 1, y plus 4 by 3. If I just simplify this, this will become 3 plus 1, 4, 16, so minus 16. So this will become 2 into minus 16 by 10. So you get 5 here. And this becomes 16 by 5. So if I equate the first part, x plus 1 is equal to 16 by 5. X comes out to be 11 by 5. You can see that in the option 11 by 5 is there in only D option. So D becomes the correct answer. If I move into this 2020 question, the question says the locus of the midpoint of the perpendiculars drawn from the points on this line to the line. So you can see that, let us write it down. The locus of the midpoint of the perpendicular drawn from this first line. There is this first line, x is equal to 2y. From this, I want to draw, so there is another line, y is equal to x. So if I draw perpendicular from here on this line, then they are saying that the midpoint is nothing but h comma k. This midpoint is nothing but h comma k. So now what you want to figure out is what is the locus of this h comma k. This is your first. So now what we are going to do is we are going to take a general point on this line. So in fact, what we can do is we can take this. If I take y1 basically, then this will become nothing but 2 times y1. So you can see that I have got the point very easily. And x minus 2y1 by 1 is equal to y minus y1 by minus 1. And if I substitute this point, this is 2 minus times 2y1 minus y1 by a square plus b square, that will become 2. So if I simplify, x minus 2y1 by 1 is equal to y by y1 by minus 1. This will be equal to nothing but, this is nothing but minus y1 by 2. If I solve this part, I will be able to get the value of x, and that is nothing but 2y1 minus y by 2. So that is nothing but 3y1 by 2. Similarly, if I get the value of y, it would be nothing but y minus y1 is equal to y by 2, so y1 plus y1 by 2 will be 3y1 by 2. So you have got the value of xy. Now in the third step, let us do the locus. So locus is nothing but midpoint. So this is nothing but 2y1 comma y1. This is nothing but h comma k. And these are equal. This is nothing but 3y1 by 2, 3y1 by 2. So we'll find the value of h. So h comes out to be 2y1 plus 3y1 by 2 by 2. So h comes out to be nothing but 4, 7. So 7y1 by 4. Similarly, if I do this for k, k comes out to be nothing but y1 plus 3y1 by 2 by 2. So you can see that this will become 5y1 by 4. And if you eliminate in the fourth option, you will get a locus. So what I can do is I can divide them. So h by k, if I write, and it will become nothing but 7 by 5. In my last step, I will replace h by x. So this becomes 7 by 5. This is my answer. So let us see which one of them satisfies. You can see that this option satisfies. So B option becomes. Now let us move towards ninth problem category, that is nothing but questions based on parallel and perpendicular lines. Now there are 2-3 things to be known here. If two lines are parallel, one obvious thing is that their slope is going to be same. That is the first point. And if you have given the line in this manner, and if you want to write a parallel line, what will change is nothing but the constant term. So I can just change the constant term and write an equation of a parallel line. Another thing is the ratio of the coefficients would be same. There are these 3 results that can be used to solve a problem. Now for the case of perpendicular lines, one obvious relation is m1 m2 equal to -1. If I have been given a line and this is another line, and if they are perpendicular, then the dot product would be equal to 0. So this is the result. I can also get the same result by doing m1 m2 is equal to -1. Another thing is, if you have been given a line and if you want to write an equation of a perpendicular line, you can see that you can change the coefficients of x and y and put an additional constant here, new constant here, to get the answer. Now we are going to use this result in solving questions. So this 2019 question says that lines are drawn parallel to this line at a distance 3/5 from the origin. Then which of the following point lies on any of these lines? So you can see that there are 2-3 parts of this question. First part says that you need to write an equation of a line parallel to this. So that line can be written as 4x minus 3y plus c equal to 0. We have used the result to write the answer directly. It is at a distance 3/5 from origin. So if I find the distance from origin, that would be 3/5, and this would be nothing but c mod divided by root of a square plus b square. So that will be 4 square plus 3 square. So this is nothing mod of c/5. So you can see that mod of c comes out to be 3. So the value of c from here comes out to be plus minus 3. So as a result, now in the third step, we have got two lines. One line is nothing but 4x minus 3y plus 3 is equal to 0. Another line is 4x minus 3y minus 3 is equal to 0. After this, you can check the options to get the right answer. Now this 2019 question says that if this is a straight line and is perpendicular to the line passing through these 2 points, you can see that directly you can apply. You can find the slope of the first line. So you are getting the value of m1, that is nothing but 2/3. From the second part, using 2-point form, I can get the slope of the line joining these 2 points. So that would be nothing but beta minus 17 by 15 minus 7. In the third step, we can put m1 into m2 equal to -1, and from here we can get the value of beta. Moving on, this 2019 question says that if there are two lines, this line and this line, and these are perpendicular, then the distance of their point of intersection from origin is. So see, there are two parts of the question. One is the condition of perpendicularity. So if these are perpendicular, then the multiplication of a1 a2 plus b1 b2 will be equal to 0. So let us do this. So if I do so, this will be nothing but 1 into 2 plus a minus 1 into a square, this will be equal to 0. This is what we are getting. And from here, if I solve this, this becomes a cubic equation. So now here in this cubic equation, if I put a is equal to -1, one of the solutions I can clearly observe, this will be equal to 0. Moving forward, the next part of the question says that if you have got this, then find the point of intersection. The point of intersection of these two lines. The first line is nothing but a minus 2y equal to 1. Then the second becomes 2x plus y equal to 1. Find their point of intersection. And in the step 3, apply distance formula from origin to point of intersection and get the final answer. So there are these 3 steps that you can follow and solve this very simple question that was asked in 2019. Moving forward, this 2019 question says that there are these 3 points that lie on the line L1, and through these 2 points is perpendicular. So line L2 passes through these 2 points and is perpendicular to L1. Find the value of k by h. Now you can see that if I want to do this in the first step, I can just go and write the equation of line using these 2 and satisfy this point of it. So if I draw a line, so first let us draw a small diagram, then let's draw a line. So something like this happening. This is L1, this is L2. H comma k is common between both the lines. This is what is happening in this question. So if this is the scenario, now if I want to find the equation of line L1, there is a point 1 comma 2 over it. There is a point minus 3 comma 4 over it. And on this another line, there is a point 4 comma 3. So we are going to follow these steps to get the value of h and k. First, we are going to write equation of line L1. Very easy to get. We have 2 points for that. Next step would be to write an equation of perpendicular line L2. This is also easy because a point is there. We can use the slope idea to get the value of the slope, and then we can write point slope form, or directly we can use the equation of line to write the equation for perpendicular line and find the constant using this point. In the fourth step, what we are going to do is we are going to find the point of intersection. Once you have figured this out, you have got the value of h and k, and then whatever they are asking, the ratio of k and h, we can easily follow. So there are these 4 questions in the 4 steps in this question to solve this question satisfactorily. Moving forward, this 2020 question says that if the perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining these 2 points, so what they are talking about is perpendicular bisector. So this is 1, 4, this is nothing but point P. Another point is nothing but Q given as k, 3. They are talking about a perpendicular bisector. That would mean this is bisector also. So this point is nothing but the midpoint. So this will be k plus 1 by 2, 7 by 2. This is what we have, and this is perpendicular to the line also. So now if you have this, what they are saying is find the, now they are also given the y-intercept. So let us write the equation of perpendicular bisector. So it is going to be nothing but y minus 7 by 2 by x minus k plus 1 by 2 is equal to minus 1 upon. So we are using the formula m1 m2 is equal to minus 1. So this slope we already know m1. Now so m2 slope would be nothing but minus 1 by m1. So I am directly applying here this idea. So the slope of this PQ line we can write in the denominator. So that would be nothing but 3 minus 4 by k minus 1. This is, you can see that we have got the equation of perpendicular bisector. Once you have got the equation, what they are saying is y-intercept is equal to 4. That would mean it passes through a point 0, minus 4. We are going to satisfy this point here. So it becomes minus 4 minus 7 by 2. This will become 0, and this becomes minus k plus 1 by 2. On the right hand side, if you flip it up, it is minus of k minus 1 divided by minus 1. So this minus will get cancelled out. You can see that this is a simple equation in k. You can solve this and get the value of k. Check my calculation, of course. Now let us look into this very beautiful question that was asked in 2024. Question says that you have 3 vertices of a triangle. First is nothing but minus 1, 3. So that will be somewhere here. This is my point A. There is another vertex minus 2, 2. Somewhere here. And then you can see there is another vertex 3, minus 1. 1, 2, 3, minus 1. Somewhere here. So this is what is given to us in terms. Now what they are saying is, let us draw a triangle. If I join them, I will get a triangle ABC. Once you have got the triangle, the first, this is what the question says. So what I will do is I will find the equations of all the 3 sides. So if I find equation of AC first, it is going to be nothing but y plus 1 by x minus 3. This will be equal to 3 plus 1 by minus 1 minus 3. So you can see slope becomes 4 by minus 4 minus 1. So the equation comes out to be y plus 1 is equal to minus x plus 3, or x plus y minus 2 is equal to 0. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to find BC. So if I do so, what I am going to get is nothing but, the vertices are nothing but minus 2, 2. So y minus 2 by x plus 2. This will be equal to nothing but minus 1 minus 2 by 3 minus 2. You can see that now the slope of this part comes out to be minus 3. So if I write the equation of BC comes out to be nothing but y minus 2 is equal to minus 3x minus 6. So 3x plus y plus 4 is equal to 0. And then comes the equation of side AB. In the third part, we'll find equation of AB. Now, if I do so, what I'm going to get is nothing but y minus 2 by x plus 2 is equal to 3 minus 2 by minus 1 plus 2. So, the slope comes out to be nothing but 1 by 1. This becomes 1. So, equation becomes nothing but y minus 2 is equal to x plus 2. So, x minus y plus 4 is equal to 0. See, now what they're saying next part is they are drawing a new triangle and where the sides are shifted inwards by 1 unit. So, if this was my old triangle, I want to form a new triangle inside such that the sides are shifted inwards by 1 unit. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. Now, what they're saying is out of this, whatever side you will get, which one is the nearest from the origin. If we look into the options, we can see, ideally speaking, we need to check, we need to then get these three equations and then check which is the closest to the origin. But if you check the options, because options are also part of the question, in this option, either you have slope equal to, in this case, 1, in this case, minus 1, plus 1. So, what does that mean? You need to find corresponding to AB and AC, BC is not required. Okay. So, from option, you can eliminate one option, one calculation. So, what I will do in the fourth part is write a parallel line to AB. So, if I write a parallel line to AB, but that is inwards. So, this was nothing but ABC. Let us say that this is DEF. So, I am going to write the equation of DF. So, if this is the equation of AB, a parallel line would be x minus y plus c is equal to 0. Now, what we are saying is this is at 1 units inwards. So, what will happen is if I write it down, the distance between these two lines. If I take distance between these two lines, it is going to be nothing but c minus 4 ka mod divided by root 2. This should be equal to 1. So, c minus 4 is equal to plus minus root 2. The value of c becomes c plus minus root 2. Now, if you want to get the line that is closer, it is going to be x minus y plus 4 minus root 2. This is going to be closer and plus root 2 is going to be farther. Similarly, I am going to do one more step. I am going to write equation of DF. And if I do so, AC was nothing but x plus y minus 2. So, this will become x plus y plus c is equal to 0. Then the difference between them would be nothing but c plus 2 ka mod by root 2 is equal to 1. So, closest, so if I find to find the value of c, it comes out to be nothing but minus 2 plus root 2 plus minus root 2. So, you can see that the closest to the origin would be the one having less value. So, closer to the origin will be nothing but x plus y and c would be nothing but minus 2 plus root 2. Now, in order to get the final answer, we don't know still this would be closer to the origin. The first one that we figured out, that is this line, or this will be closer to the, we will have to find the distance from the origin and check which answer suits our condition. So, if you find it, it is very clear that minus 2 plus root 2 will be closer. So, from this option, so what we have got is x plus y minus 2 plus root 2. So, that would mean option B comes out to be correct. Now, let us move towards 10th problem type. 10th problem type talks about reflection of a line. Now, for doing reflection of a line, I am going to use a very simple technique. There are multiple techniques. So, if a line starts from here and if getting reflected here, so my technique is very simple. If you find the reflection of this point over this line, then this point and this where this is headed, all of them will be in the same line. This simple idea I will use to get answers. Let us see how it works out in terms of JEE questions. So, if I look into this question 2023 says that if you have, so what they are saying is there is a line that starts at an angle of 30 degree from positive direction of x-axis from origin. Now, this line is meeting origin and this line meets another line that is nothing but x plus y is equal to 1. That is a line like this. It goes like this. So, you can see that and then it gets reflected. Then what they are asking is nothing but the abscissa of the point Q of the reflected ray, which means the x-axis at Q. Now what is happening is, see, this angle will become 45 degrees, so this angle will become 105 degree. So what is happening here is, see, if I draw a normal at this point, this is the normal at this point. Okay? So this normal if I take, now if you take this diagram, what will happen is, the normal is like this. So this ray will go like this and get reflected and go like this. So they want us to tell this value of Q. Now we can see that if this is 105 degree, this is 90 degree, this angle will become 15 degree. And this angle will also become 15 degree. Now this is what we have. So if I want to find the value of Q, you can see that, let us take this point as P. So I will have to find the value of P. So if I find two things, one, if I find P and slope of reflected ray, I will be able to get my answer. Okay? So now this is not a very tough question, because now there are two parts of the question. Let us find the value of P first. P is nothing but the intersection of this line, x plus y equal to 1, with a line that starts from origin and has an angle 30 degree. So tan 30 degree will become 1 by root 3x. So this is the equation. If I substitute here, then x plus x by root 3 will be equal to 1. So x is nothing but root 3 by root 3 plus 1. And now if you want to get point y corresponding to that, we'll divide it by root 3. So it becomes 1 upon root 3 plus 1. So you have got this. Now next thing would be to find the slope. Now let us go into the geometry of this. And if I go into the geometry of this point, now let us say what do we have. Now you can see that if I enlarge this diagram, and I am just talking about the reflective ray, this is P and this is Q. We know that this angle would be nothing but 75 degree. You know that this angle is 45 degree. So this angle if I want to find, I will have to subtract from 180 degree. 45 degree plus 75 degree. So if you add 45 plus 75, it will become 120. So this angle will become 60 degree. You know that the slope of this line is nothing but 60 degree. Inclination is 60 degree. So the slope of line becomes tan of 60 degree. That is nothing but root 3. Now once you have got these two facts, we can apply and write the equation of line as nothing but y minus 1 by root 3 plus 1 by x minus root 3 by root 3 plus 1, and this is equal to tan of 60 degree, that is root 3. Now what we want is not this equation, what we want is abscissa of the point Q. For getting that, what we'll have to do, we'll have to put y equal to 0 here. That if I do, let us see what do I get. So this will become y by root 3 plus 1 is equal to root 3 into x minus root 3 by root 3 plus 1 minus 1 by root 3 plus 1 is equal to root 3x minus 3 by root 3 plus 1. So if I take it on the other side, this will become 2 by, so x will be equal to nothing but 1 by root 3 into 2 by root 3 plus 1. Now let us go to this 2020 question. Question says that a ray of light coming from a point 2 comma 2 root 3. Now, there is a point 2 comma 2 root 3, a point somewhere here, 2 comma 2 root 3. You can see that I am using lot of geometry to solve problem, because I told you that geometrical approaches will be simpler to implement rather than formula based approaches. A ray of light coming from this point is incident at an angle 30 degree to a line x equal to 1. So there is a line x equal to 1 going like this. This ray of light is incident at an angle 30 degree. Let us, so this angle is 30 degree. And at a point A, this point is also given as A. Now the reflected ray from the light meets the x-axis at a point B. Now what they're saying is, then the line AB passes through the point. So what fundamentally you want to do is get the equation of AB. Now for getting that, we will want two things. We will want a point, and another thing that we'll want is slope. If you want to get any equation, at least these three things we should have. So for finding the point A, what we'll do is we'll find the equation of line, let us say this AC. So it will become nothing but y minus 2 root 3 by x minus 2. This will be equal to, and now you can see that this angle will give us the slope. So this is 60 degree. So tan of 60 degree will become root 3. So if I want to get this point A, I will have to, you can see that x is equal to 1. So 1 comma something will come. For finding that something, will put x equal to 1 here. So if I put x equal to 1, let us see what do we get. It becomes y minus 2 root 3 by minus 1 is equal to root 3. Or y comes out to be nothing but root 3. So you can see that we have figured out the point A. It is nothing but 1 comma root 3. Now in the third part, we will figure out the slope. Now we can see that from geometry it is very simple, because this angle will also become 60 degree because of reflection. So this angle will also become 60 degree. So this angle becomes 120 degree. So the slope of this line is nothing but, inclination is 120 degree. So the slope of new line will be tan of 120 degree. That is tan of 180 degree minus 60 degree, and this comes out to be minus tan 60 degree, or nothing but minus root 3. Now we have got all the important ingredients that you can apply. So you have got a point, the y minus root 3 by x minus 1. This will be equal to nothing but tan of, this will become minus root 3. You have got the equation of the line. Satisfy the points and check which lies on this line. Okay, so I have done a very geometrical approach. In reflection questions, geometrical approach work a lot better than just formula based approaches. Next question of 2022 says that a ray of light through a point 2, 3 reflects on the x-axis. So you can see that from a point 2, 3, so there is a point 2, 3. So let us take this point as 2, 3. From 2, 3 reflects on the x-axis at a point A and passes through the point 5, 4. It goes like this, and there is a point 5, 4 on this. So they have given this point as P. This is nothing but A, and this passes through a point Q 5, 4. Now R be a point that divides the line segment AQ internally. So AQ internally in the ratio 2:1, like this. This is R. Then what they are saying is basically the coordinates of the foot are perpendicular from M. Foot of the perpendicular M from R on the angle bisector of angle PAQ. What they are saying is, now if you, so now you can see that if I find angle perpendicular, this will be nothing but angle bisector. So what they are saying is, this point from here to here, if you drop a perpendicular, this is going to be M. So what they are saying is, this is nothing but alpha beta. Coordinates of this point are nothing but alpha beta. You give me some value of this alpha, 7 alpha plus 3 beta. Now in order to solve this question, this is the logical sequence that we are going to follow. We are going to consider this angle as theta. So this angle will also become theta. So my first idea would be to find equation of line PA. Now interesting thing is, if I take this point will become alpha, 0. So from here I will get a relation between alpha and theta. Then what I am going to do is find the equation of QA. Again satisfy alpha, 0 and get a relation between alpha and theta. Using these two, find the value of alpha, 0. Once you have figured out alpha, 0 using section formula, get the value of alpha, beta. So this is the logical sequence that we are going to follow. Let us try and implement this. So in my first step, what I am going to do is write the equation of line PA. Since I know 2 points, this will become y minus 3 by x minus 2. Now we can see that this angle is theta, this will be 90 degree. So the slope will become tan of theta plus 90 degree. So you can see that the answer of this becomes minus cot theta. Now you can see that in this left hand side, alpha, 0 will satisfy it. So if I put here, this will become minus 3 by alpha minus 2. This is my first equation. In the second part, now what I will do is find the equation of QA. So similarly, y minus 4 by x minus 5. Now you can see that this angle will become tan of 90 degree minus theta. Once I do this, you can see that this angle, this becomes cot theta. And on the left hand side, I can again satisfy alpha comma 0 to become minus 4 by alpha minus 5. Let us now solve these two conditions and get the value. Cot theta we can eliminate. So minus 3 by alpha minus 2. So this will become plus. From there, cot theta is 3 by alpha minus 2. From here, what we have is 4 by minus 4 by alpha minus 5. If I cross multiply, this becomes 3 alpha minus 15. This becomes minus 4 alpha plus 8. So you can see that 7 alpha comes out to be nothing but 23. This is the first part. Now this is important because here we 7 alpha is only required. Now in order to get the value of alpha beta, in the fourth part, we'll apply section formula. So you have this point alpha comma 0 as 23 by 7 comma 0. In ratio 2:1, there will be a point alpha comma beta. And then you have got this another point as nothing but 4 comma 5 comma 4. So what I want is nothing but the value of beta from here. So I can apply the section formula. So if I want to find the value of beta, it is going to be nothing but 8 plus 0 by 3. And you can see that the answer of this question becomes 8 by 3. So 3 times beta comes out to be 8. Now what they want is 7 alpha plus 3 beta. So if you add this, answer comes out to be 31. Question of 2024. Question says that a ray of light is starting from a point 1 comma 2. So it starts from a point 1 comma 2. They are saying the point is P. Reflected from Q on x-axis. So it starts from here, get reflected at Q and goes like this. It passes through a point R. Now the point R is also given. This point is 4 comma 3. If the point S, H comma K, we says that PQRS is a parallelogram. So PQRS, so probably somewhere here if I extend it, there is a parallelogram. This is nothing but S, that is nothing but H comma. So what they want us to do is basically find the value of HK square. So see, our idea would be to find nothing but H and K. If I get H and K, anything related to H and K can be answered. If this question is given to us, see, we know that there is a very important property that the diagonals of the parallelogram bisect each other. I will try to utilize this property. So this point of intersection from here, I can directly get as nothing but 4 plus 1, 5 by 2. And 2 plus 3 again 5 by 2. Now see, this point is something I want to find. If I can get this point, my work is done. This is what is my strategy. So now in order to get the Q point, what we are going to do, the same thing that I told you, we are going to take the reflection of this 1 comma 2 over x-axis. Then this point, let us say that P dash, extended part of the line QR, these are going to be on the same line. So using 2-point form, we will be able to get the equation and from there get the value of Q. So let us figure out. So what we are going to take is find the value P dash. So since it is reflection over x-axis, what is going to happen? X coordinate will not change, y coordinate will change sign. So this point becomes nothing but 1 comma minus 2. In the next step, now I have 2 points on the line, P dash, that is 1 comma minus 2. And another point on the line is 4 comma 3. Using 2-point form, I can write the equation of reflected ray. So equation of reflected ray, in this case, comes out to be nothing but y minus 3 by x minus 4 minus 2 minus 3 by 1 minus 4. So you can see that this simplifies to nothing but minus 5 by minus 3 or 5 by 3. Now we have got that. Now in order to get the value of Q from here, in the next step or fourth step, for getting Q, I will put nothing but y equal to 0 here. Then this equation, if I put y equal to 0, this becomes minus 3 by x minus 4. And this will be equal to nothing but 5 by 3. So if I cross multiply, this is nothing but 9 by 5 is equal to x minus 4. X comes out to be 4 minus 9 by 5. This will be 20 minus 9, so this will become 11 by 5. We have got this point. Now see, this point is nothing but 11 by 5 comma 0. So all we need to do is apply section formula and get the value of h comma k. Then the fifth part, we will get the value of h comma k by applying section formula. So h plus 11 by 5 divided by 2 is nothing but 5 by 2, and k plus 0 by 2 is nothing but 5 by 2. Once you have got the value of h comma k, we have got the answer. So in this manner, you can see that using this logic of reflection of the first point and getting it in the line of reflected ray is a very potent technique of solving such questions. Now in this 2024 question, what question says is, you have a point 7 comma 10, 3 comma 10. 3 comma 10 would be somewhere here. There is a line, and the line is given as 2x plus 3y. So that line is something like this. This is nothing but 2x plus y is equal to 6. The ray of light starts from here. Then it gets reflected and passes through a point 7 comma 2. What they want to find you is nothing but the equation of the incident ray. So now if they want to do that, the reverse logic of what we learned earlier is still true. If I take reflection over this, reflection of this point, then it will lie on the extended ray here. So now earlier we were finding the value of p as p dash. Now in this case we will find the value of q dash. Using this point, I will write the equation of pq dash and get the value of a and b. So you can see that the first step would be to find reflection of q and on the line 2x plus y equal to 6. If I want to find the reflection or the image, it is going to be x minus 7 by 2, y minus 2 by 1 is equal to minus 2 times 2 into 7 plus 2 minus 6 by a square plus b square, so 2 square plus 1 square. So now we can see that the steps are very simple. From there we can get the value of nothing but q dash. The reflection of q will get the value of q dash. So if I want to find this will become y minus 2 by 1. Let's simplify this. So this is minus 2 by 5. This comes out to be 14 plus 2, that will be 16. This will become 10. This will get cancelled out. This will become minus 4. If I compare x minus 7 by 2 is equal to minus 4. From here I have got the value of x. So x minus 7 is equal to minus 8. X comes out to be minus 1. And if I want to get the value of y minus 2 by 1 is equal to minus 4. So y comes out to be nothing but minus 4 minus 2 minus 2. So this point is nothing but minus 1 comma minus 2. So in the next step, since you have got this point now, we wanted to get this point. Now this p and q dash are in the same line. In the third step, I can write 2-point form equation and get the final answer. So y plus 2 by x plus 1 will be equal to 10 plus 2 by 3 plus 1. Solve this. From here you will get the value of a and b and the final answer. So this is the approach, and that is a very simplistic approach to solve such kind of questions. Now this next problem type is nothing but type 11 based on concurrency of lines. Now if you take 3 lines, there are 2 scenarios. Those 3 lines will either pass through a point, this is known as concurrency, or they will not pass through a point. In that case they will generate a triangle. So first we'll see what will happen in this first case of concurrency, and then we'll move into the direction of triangle and what kind of centers can be formed in the triangle. Now for concurrency, there are 3 lines given to us, and these 3 lines are concurrent, then the condition is the determinant of their coefficient should be equal to 0. This is a very important condition. Using this, let us try and attempt few questions. JEE Mains 2024 question says that the sum of squares of all real values of alpha for which the lines that are given do not form a triangle is P, then the greatest interior less than or equal to P is. See now, very important idea. What is happening is, if the triangle is not getting formed, so one scenario would be the lines are concurrent. So you can see that the 3 lines that we are talking about is concurrent. Another scenario can be they can be parallel. If the lines are parallel, then also the triangle will not get formed. If I look into these ideas, let us first explore that these lines are parallel. So corresponding to being parallel, you can see that these two lines, 2x minus y plus 3 equal to 0. This is fixed. And one more line that is given to us, that is nothing but 6x plus 3y plus 1 is equal to 0. This is also fixed. You can see that two lines are fixed. So, and also these are not parallel, we can clearly see that. So what we need to check is this line is parallel to the first line or not. So the slope of this line is nothing but 2. And the slope of another line, if you look into that, would be nothing but minus of alpha by 2. So you can see that from here, the value of alpha comes out to be minus 4. If I do this in the second part also, the slope of this line is nothing but minus 2. And corresponding to that, this becomes minus alpha by 2. The corresponding value of alpha comes out to be 4, another case. Now, what is happening is a third case when it becomes concurrent. So now, what does concurrency will mean? The determinant is equal to 0. So for concurrency, let us write let us start with nothing but the one in which there are unknowns. So let us take the line as nothing but alpha 2 minus 2. And then you can see that what we have is nothing but 2 minus 1, 3. And the last one is nothing but 6, 3, 1. So what should happen is basically we can open it along this one. If I open it, it becomes alpha into minus 1 minus 9. Then minus of 2 into 2 minus 18, that will become minus 16. And ultimately minus 2 into 6 plus 6, that is nothing but 12 is equal to 0. This can also be written as nothing but minus 10. So instead of this, let us write minus 10. So now we can see that 2, in fact minus 2, the minus sign also we can cancel from all the parts. So, and also we can cancel 2, so this will become 5, this will go away, this will go away. So what we have is nothing but 5 alpha and the minus 16 plus 12 is equal to 0, or the value of alpha from here comes out to be nothing but 4 by 5. Now let us go back to the question. Question says that the sum of squares of all the real values of alpha is p. So from the first part, if I write alpha square, the summation of alpha square they are talking about. So from the first case 4 square, second case 4 square, and from the last case 4 by 5 whole square. Now you can see that this will become 16, this will become 16, and this will become 16 by 25. You can see that this becomes 32 plus 16 by 25. If I take GIF of this value, it will come out to be 32. So 32 becomes answer to this question. Now next idea is, now we have entered into the zone of triangles. This type 12 questions are based on the idea of centroid. Now what are the important things that we need in corresponding to centroid? It is nothing but the point of intersection of medians. We have these formula, a very famous formula to find the centroid of a triangle ABC. Then one important property is the centroid will always lie inside. So location based questions get connected here. Another important idea is median divides a triangle into two triangles of equal area. So what is happening is, if you have a triangle and if I draw a median from here, join the midpoint, then the area of this triangle delta 1 and this triangle delta 2 will be equal. Also this will be equal to half of the total area of triangle, that is delta. One more important idea is basically, what they are saying is centroid divides the line into three equal parts. So now if I join these, so you can see that now the area of this triangle, area of this triangle and area of this triangle is equal and will be equal to delta by 3. Now next, if I look into a JEE Mains question, it says that A, B, C are the vertices of a triangle and D is the centroid. So what they have given you? They have given you the vertices as 3, minus 1. B is nothing but 1, 3. And C is nothing but 2, 4. So this information is given to me. Now question is saying that D is the centroid. So let us write D also here. P is the point of intersection of this line, then which of the following points lie on the line DP? So there are two parts of the question. First you will have to find D, then you will have to find P, and then you will have to draw or write the equation of line DP and then check the options to get to an answer. So let us first find D. So D will be nothing but x1 plus x2 plus x3. So 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 2 6, 6 by 3 will be equal to 2. Minus 1 plus 3 will become 2, 2 plus 4 will become 6, 6 again, so this becomes 2. So this is nothing but DP. We have directly applied the formula. In the second part you will find the point of intersection of these two lines. So if I add these two lines, it will be, so if what you can do is you can do find using substitution. So y from the second line comes out to be 3x plus 1. I can substitute in the first part. So x plus 3 times 3x plus 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So this will become 10x plus 2 is equal to 0. X comes out to be nothing but minus 1 by 5. If you have x is minus 1 by 5, correspondingly we can find the value of y will be equal to minus 3 by 5 plus 1. So y comes out to be nothing but 2 by 5. Once you have got the point P, you can check my calculation of course. Now third part would be to write equation of dP. And fourth step would be to check options. In these 4 steps you can get the answer to this question. Moving forward, there is this 2019 question. Triangle has a vertex at 1, 2. What they have given is triangle has a vertex at 1, 2. So this is the vertex. Let us say that this point is A. The midpoints of the two sides are minus 1, 1. So this is minus 1, 1. And for the other one it is 2, 3. So this point is 2, 3. Now what they are asking, then the centroid of the triangle is. So see, for finding centroid, what you will require is nothing but this vertex and this vertex. Now there are 2 steps involved. So first, using this first midpoint, let us say D. So using D point, we will be able to get the value of B point. This would be first step. Using the section formula in, let us say this is E. Using section formula over E point, we will be able to find C. Once you have figured out all the points, we can apply centroid formula and get the value of centroid. In these 3 simple steps, we will be able to solve this question. 2020 question says that ABC are again given with the vertices of a triangle ABC. So they have given the vertices. It is nothing but 1, 0. This is A. B is nothing but 6, 2. Let us also write that. And C is nothing but 3 by 2, 6. Now the question says that if P is the point inside the triangle ABC such that if I make triangles APC, APB and BPC have equal areas, then the length of the segment PQ, where Q is given. You can see that if this area is equal, then P is nothing but centroid. This is the first observation. Then using centroid formula, you can find the value of centroid. So x coordinates, if you add 6 plus 1, 7, 7 plus 3. So 7 plus 3 by 2 by 3 will come. And then 0 plus 2 plus 6, it will become 8, 8 by 3. So you have got your point P. Once you have got your point P, Q is given. In the third step, I can apply distance formula and get the answer. It is a very simple question. Moving towards next question, 2023. Alpha and beta be the centroid of the triangle formed by these 3 lines. This is alpha, beta given. Let us say this is A, B, C and this is G. This is given to us. Now the lines are given to us. Then what they are asking is basically alpha plus 2 beta and 2 alpha are the roots of which equation. So you can see that logically first we'll have to get this centroid. Now for getting centroid, it is important for us to get the vertices. So what we are going to do is, in the first step, from equations of line, I will be able to get vertices. Once you have got the vertices, we are going to apply the formula and get centroid. Once you have done that, in the next step, from centroid you will be able to get the value of alpha beta. And using these, two values, I will be able to get roots of the equation. Once you have got roots of the equation, using this we can apply the formula x square minus sum of roots into x plus product. I can get my answer. So this is how I am going to proceed in this question. We will match the option and get the answer. Moving forward, in this 2023 question, the equations of sides of the triangle ABC are again given to us. X minus 3, so what they have given is they have given all the three sides. Let P to be the centroid of this triangle. So you can see that it is exactly the same question, nothing new. Instead of point, they have given sides as triangle. So this is nothing but P. This is 2 comma A. So you can see that what we are going to do is we are again going to follow the same algorithm. In the first step, we are going to find the vertices through point of intersections. Second, we are going to find the value of P. If we equate this from here, you will get the value of A. Next step would be this. Now what they are saying is BC square. Once you have got the value of P, A, in the third step, now using this, we have got the vertices of B and C. We can apply distance formula and get the answer. In these three steps, we can solve this question. So nothing very complicated, just little bit of calculation. In this 2022 question, an isosceles triangle ABC. Now it is very important to read the question correctly. So what they say is isosceles triangle ABC. So this is 6, 1. A is a vertex. The equation of the base BC. So BC base they have given as 2x plus y is equal to 4. This base equation is given. Let P be the point on the line x plus 2y equal to 7. So there is another line that goes like this. Equation is x plus 2y equal to 7. Alpha comma beta is the centroid. Then what they are asking is the value of 15 times alpha plus beta. So if I figure out the centroid, this will be easy to get. So now you can see that if I take this line and this point, so I will be able to get the value of B. So just by solving these two. So in the first step, I am going to solve these two. So for doing that, I can take the value of x from the first equation, 7 minus 3y, and I can substitute in the next one. So this will become 2 into 7 minus 3y plus y is equal to 4. So this becomes 14 minus 6y plus y is equal to 4. So you can see that 10 minus 5y is equal to 0, y comes out to be 2. Once the value of y is 2, we can put this value here and get the value of x from here. So it will become nothing but 1. So you can see that by doing this calculation, we have figured out this point. This is nothing but 1, 2. Now, in order to get the centroid, you also will require this last point. Let us say that this is x3, y3. If I can get this point, I will be able to get the centroid and hence the value of alpha and beta. So for getting that, the next step would be use one more condition given in the question, that is isosceles triangle. This is given to us that this is nothing but an isosceles triangle. So once you have this, now there are two relations that can be written between x3, y3. Okay, one is basically the length of AB will be equal to AC. So if I do this, what I have is nothing but root of difference of these coordinates will be nothing but 5 square plus 1 square. This is nothing but root of x3 minus 6 whole square plus y3 minus 1 whole square. You can see that one equation I am getting from here. For getting the next equation in the third step, what we can do is we can say that x3, y3, since it lies on the line BC, it will satisfy this equation. So what we have is 2 times x3 plus y3 is equal to 4. Second equation. So using these two equations, from here we will be able to get the value of x3, y3. In the fourth step, we will apply centroid formula and we will be able to get the value of centroid, and from there we will be able to get the answer. So we will follow these 4 steps and solve the question. Moving forward, there is this 2019 question talks about a line is given to us. They are saying that you have 2 points Q, that is 1, 4, and there is a point R 3, minus 2, and this P is a point on this line the equation of the line is again given to us. Then the locus of the centroid. So you can see that if I take this point as h comma k, this is my first step. I have located the point which is the centroid. This point, so now let us say that this point is x1 comma y1. So if I write the equation of locus, equation of centroid, x1 plus 1 plus 3 by 3 will be equal to nothing but h. So from here x1 comes out to be nothing but 3h minus 4. Similarly, this is my next step. Similarly, the value of k if I write, so y1 plus 4 minus 2 by 3 will be equal to k, or y1 comes out to be 3k minus 2. Another condition that I have is nothing but x1 comma y1 also lie on the line. So one more thing I can write, 2x1 minus 3y1 plus 4 is equal to 0. Now you can see that you have three conditions. In the next step we are going to do elimination. So if I eliminate, I will have to substitute this value here and this value here. And if I do so, this becomes 2 times 3h minus 4 plus, minus 3 times 3k minus 2 plus 4 is equal to 0. You have got the locus. All you need to do is, in the fourth step, replace h by x and k by y and get the equation of locus. So like this you can solve this question in 4 steps. Now this type 13 is nothing but circumcenter. So we have already started with the first important point for a triangle, that was nothing but centroid. Now we are moving towards the idea of circumcenter. So what is a circumcenter? Circumcenter is the point of intersection of perpendicular bisectors. This is a formula that we'll almost never use. So this formula is not very important for our discussion. If I move forward, there are these properties that are very important. First is, the circumcenter of a triangle, for acute angle triangle it will lie inside. It will be the midpoint of hypotenuse for a right angle triangle. This is a very important property. Direct questions will be based on this idea. For obtuse angle triangle it lies outside. If I find the intersection of equation of perpendicular bisectors of the side, I will get nothing but my circumcenter. And if I have the sides of a triangle as L1 is equal to 0, L2 is equal to 0, L3 equal to 0, I can write the equation of circumcircle as nothing but L1 L2 lambda times L2 L3 plus mu times L3 L1 equal to 0. Now for getting the value of lambda and mu here, we will have two conditions. One is coefficient of x square is equal to coefficient of y square. This is first condition. And second is nothing but coefficient of xy term will be equal to 0. If I use these two conditions, I will be able to get the value of mu and lambda. So you can see that largely questions will be based on three ideas, 0.2, 4 and then this 5. Now let us see a question that was asked in 2023. Question says that alpha comma beta be the circumcenter of the triangle formed by the lines. So lines are given. This is first line, second line, third line. So now if you carefully observe, the first thing that you should always look for in the question is basically, is it a case of right angle triangle? Because most of the times if it is given as right angle triangle, calculation will become very easy. So let us see the slope of the line. So slope of the first line is nothing but minus 4 by 3. For the next line it is nothing but 3 by 4. You can see that if I multiply these two, answer becomes minus 1. So m1 m2 is equal to minus 1. That would mean it is a right angle triangle. So you can see that this is a case that is used in lot of questions and this simplification helps us a lot. So if I draw the triangle, now let us understand what is happening. So if I take this side as 4x plus 3y is equal to 69. This angle is 90 degree and this line will become 4y minus 3x is equal to 70. You have got these two lines. One more line, this line is nothing but x plus 7y. So what we are saying is, now if I draw a triangle, circle over this triangle, this is how it will look like. So the midpoint of the hypotenuse, this will give me the circumcenter. This is important because they are worried about the circumcenter only. We need to get this value of alpha comma beta. Now it becomes very simple. So what are the two steps involved? Once you have observed this, in the next step we are going to find this point of intersection, let us say A, of these two lines. And if I find it, I am going to take x from the first equation, that will become minus 7y plus 61, and substitute in the second one. So this will become 4 times minus 7y plus 61 plus 3y is equal to 69. So from here we will be able to get this first point, that is nothing but x1 comma y1. This is one. Second, so now you can solve it, do the calculation. In the next step we are going to find this point of intersection. This is B, let us call this as C. We will find C in similar manner. Now once you have got B and C, in the step number 4 we are going to apply midpoint formula or section formula to get midpoint of AC, and that would be nothing but alpha comma beta. Once you have got alpha comma beta, you have won the battle. So we are going to follow this 4 exact steps to come up with a solution. Calculations you can do. Now this next question says that there are 3 points given to us. First is nothing but alpha comma minus 2, alpha comma 6, alpha by 4 minus 2 be the vertices of a triangle. 5 comma alpha by 4 is the circumcenter of the triangle. Then which of the following is not correct about the triangle? So you can very clearly see that now they are very specific. In this case, this is alpha comma minus 2. The B point is nothing but alpha comma 6, and C point is nothing but alpha by 4 comma minus 2. And they have given the circumcenter also. This point is nothing but 5 comma alpha by 4. If I take the midpoint of side AB, so this midpoint will be nothing but point D. It is going to be alpha comma 4 by 2. This will also become 2. So if I take this center, that is nothing but 5, and you can see that, so this black line will be perpendicular to, so let us take this point as M. If I take this point as M, so what the first idea is, MD will be perpendicular to line AB. This is important because if I apply this, I will be able to get the value of alpha. So the slope of MD is nothing but alpha by 4 minus 2 by 5 minus alpha. And if I do it for the AB, you can see that it would be nothing but 6 plus 2 by alpha minus alpha. You can see that this comes out to be nothing but minus 1. Now this part will multiply and become 0. If I take it on the other side, it will become 0, and alpha by 4 will be equal to 2. So from here you can see that the value of alpha comes out to be 8. So this is very important step. We have got the value of alpha. Now once I have got the value of alpha, I have got everything. I have got the vertices. So let us write the vertices. So for first vertex would be nothing but 8 comma minus 2. This is point A. Then B would be nothing but 8 comma 6. So if I draw it in a very systematic manner on a graph, 8 comma 6. So 8 comma 6 would be somewhere here. This is A. Then if I go and find the value, so this is B. This is B. A would be below here as nothing but 8 comma minus 2. And then C would be nothing but 2 comma minus 2. So 2 comma minus 2 would be here. You can see that what you have got is a right angle triangle. This is what we have got. So once you have got a right angle triangle, your life has become very simple. Now you can see that your circle or circumcircle is going like this. The midpoint of this is nothing but the circumcenter. So 5 comma 2. This is where it would be. Once you have got all of this information, now finding the area is very simple. Half of base into height. So if I want to check the area, it is half of base. So your base is nothing but equal to 6 units. And the height will be nothing but again 8 units. So if I divide this, it becomes 4. So this becomes 24. The area of the triangle is nothing but 24 units. What they are saying is which of the options are not correct. So obviously A is not the answer. Perimeter, if you want to find, you can see that you will have to find the circumradius first. So circumradius would be nothing but this distance will become the circumradius. So if I find circumradius, it would be equal to nothing but distance between this point M and B. So if I find the difference, now it is going to be root of 3 square plus 4 square. So this becomes 5. The circumradius is coming out to be 5. So this also now we have checked. Even this is not correct. Because we are talking about not correct options. So this also matches, this also matches. Now if I want to find the perimeter, so perimeter for this question would be nothing but the length of AB plus BC. So AB would be nothing but 8. If you find the value of AC, it is going to be nothing but 6. And if you want to find the value of BC, it is going to be nothing but 2 times radius, that is nothing but 10. If you add it up, it is nothing but 18 plus 6, 24. So perimeter comes out to be 24. This option is given as 25, so this is wrong, or the right answer for our question. If I look into this 2020 question, the equation of sides of ABBC CA again are given to us. So now this kind of question we have already done, so nothing new in this question, you can do this question. This 2022 question says that the circumradius of a triangle with vertices are again given to us. Now let us do this. What they have done is basically, in this question they have given us A as nothing but A comma 3, B as nothing but B comma 5, and C as nothing but A comma B. This is given to us. They have given that P is the circumcenter, that is 1 comma 1. Now what they are saying is AP intersects BC in point Q. So if I take this will be Q, and coordinates of Q are K1 comma K2. So now how are we going to do this question? So you can see that if I want to find Q, for finding point, you can trace it back. We will want equation. So this is nothing but, so this is point of intersection of AQ and BC. For this we will want equation of AQ and BC. For finding that, you will require the value of A and B. And for getting A and B, we can use the condition of perpendicularity. So what we are going to do is, if I drop a perpendicular, so if I take a P and if I drop a perpendicular on AB as nothing but MD, so our idea is that PD would be perpendicular to AB. Similarly, PE, and if I drop a perpendicular from here, if I take the midpoint, so this is the same thing that we did in the earlier question, would be perpendicular to AC, where D and these are nothing but the midpoints of these two sides. So using these two conditions, if I apply, I will be able to get the value of A comma B. So this is the first thing. From this you can get A comma B. Once you have got the equation, you can find the point of intersection. In the fourth step you have got Q. Once you have got Q, you can find K1 plus K2 and get the answer. Now type 14 question is nothing but orthocenter. Now orthocenter has been a very important area in this chapter. So first let us understand what is an orthocenter. Orthocenter is nothing but point of intersection of altitudes. So if I drop an altitude from A to D, similarly if I do from B to E, then their point of intersection, this H is known as nothing but orthocenter. This is a formula that is largely useless. Sometimes it might be useful, but largely it has not been very useful. The properties has been very useful. So for an acute angle triangle, similar circumcenter will lie inside. Right angle triangle, this is the most important case. If you have a right angle triangle, then this right angle, this point will become nothing but the orthocenter. This is the most important case. And for obtuse angle triangle, it will lie outside, same as circumcenter. So now you have two techniques to solve question. One, you can find point of intersection of altitudes, or you can figure out that the question is based on that right angle wala case. Apply that case and get the answer. Now in this question, ABC has vertices, orthocenters, coordinates they are asking. So let us try and plot these points out. So if I plot these points, A is nothing but -1, 7. So -1, 7 would be somewhere here. This is nothing but point A. So you have -1, 7 and -7, 1. Now if you observe, there is another point C given to us, that is 5, -5. So 5, -5 would be somewhere here. This is origin. So what is happening here is, if you make this triangle, something interesting happens. These points are nothing but reflection over the line y is equal to -x that passes through here. So this is a very important observation, that these are nothing but reflection over this y is equal to -x. So what will happen in this case? This angle will become 90 degree. So without doing anything in this question, we have figured out already an altitude just by observing it. So our orthocenter is going to lie somewhere on this line. This is my h. So one equation of altitude we have just got by observation. If I can write one more equation, I should get my answer. Now in options also, what you can look for here is nothing but, if this is on y equal to x, so the coordinates will be of this form. It is going to be -x, x. Something like this will appear in the answer. So if you look into this option, you can see that all of them are matching the same pattern, but these two are exactly matching. So answer would be either A or B. For finding A or B, now there are two things. What you can do is basically write the altitude that goes from A to point D and figure out the point of intersection. So that would be easier to do. Let us do that. So for that we have got nothing but a point on the line AD. So we are writing the equation of AD. So x plus 1 will happen. So this will be equal to -1 upon, because this is perpendicular to this line. So we will apply the condition of perpendicularity. So from here, the slope of this line you will have to find. So -5 -1 by 5 plus 7. So if you simplify this, y -7 by x plus 1 will be equal to nothing but 12 by 6. That comes out to be 2. Once you have this, y -7 is equal to 2x plus 2, or y is equal to 2x plus 9. See, now we want to find the intersection of this line and the line y is equal to x. That if I solve, what will happen? Let us replace y by -x. So if I replace y by -x, so -x is equal to 2x plus 9. So -3x will be equal to 9. X comes out to be nothing but -3. If x is -3, y will come out to be 3. And you can see that our A option, that was -3, 3 matches the description. So this is very simple, very elementary question. Now if I move to this next question, question says that there is a point P, 6, 1 be the orthocenter of the triangle whose vertices are given to us. Then C point lies on the circle. So again, question is very simple, because in this question, what they have given you? They have given you a point A, that is 5, -2, a point B, that is 8, 3, and a point C that they have not given, that they want you to find h, k. Once you find h, k, you can satisfy in the option and check which one of the options satisfies. Now, in order to help you out, they have given you the value of the P here, or the orthocenter, that is nothing but 6, 1. So idea would be, using these conditions, find the value of h, k. Using the value of h, k, check the options and see which answer matches. Now how to solve this? This is the only challenge that we have. Now see, you can do a very innovative thing here. So now if you want to find h comma k, there are two unknowns, you will require two conditions. So let me write those two conditions. So we can find the midpoint of this side. Let us call this midpoint as nothing but d. Let us find the midpoint of this side also. Let us call that as e. So if you want to find the d, it will be h plus 8 by 2. If you find the value of y coordinate, it will become k plus 3 by 2. Similarly, if I find e, it would be nothing but 5 plus h by 2 and k minus 2 by 2. So once you have figured out this midpoints, now what we will do is basically, we'll write the slope of HD. HD would be perpendicular to BC. One condition. HE will be perpendicular to AC. Another condition. So using these two conditions, we will be able to figure out in the next step the value of h and k. In the third option, we'll satisfy the options and get the answer. Now the type 15 problem is nothing but angle bisector and incenter. Yes, I know angle bisector is out of the syllabus, but there have been questions in JEE exam. So this, I don't know why NTA does it. They will remove it from the syllabus first, then they will put the questions from the topic. I don't know why they want to do this, but let us do it from a very comprehensive point of view. So angle bisector between two lines, if that is given, this is the equation. So we are going to write the equation and divide by root of a square plus b square, same for the second line, and plus minus sign. So if you have a line like this, there are two angle bisectors possible, one corresponding to plus sign, another corresponding to minus sign. Now, if you want to differentiate acute angle bisector and obtuse angle bisector, what we are going to do is, we are going to find the value of a dash, bb dash. If it is smaller than 0, then positive sign will give you acute angle bisector. If it is greater than 0, then positive sign will give you obtuse angle bisector. I remember it like this: smaller means chota, chota means acute. Greater means bigger, bigger means obtuse. Next is basically angle bisector containing a point. So, if you have a point alpha comma beta, so these are the two angle bisector. So, if I take this alpha comma beta and satisfy the equation of both the lines, if they have same sign, then plus sign will give the angle bisector containing them. If they have opposite sign, then the minus wala will give you the angle bisector containing them. Properties of angle bisector. See, this is very important property. So there are two important ideas. One, if you take a point on the angle bisector, then the length of this perpendicular over both the lines, this is going to be equal. This is a very important idea. Second important idea is, in a triangle, if you have an angle bisector like this, of this side, so what we can say is, if this point is nothing but A, then the image of A with respect to this angle bisector will lie on line BC. This is a very important idea. We are going to use this idea to solve a problem. Now, if I take intersection of angle bisectors, we are going to get in center I. Now, this formula is important. Questions are based on this formula. A very important idea here also is that if you have this triangle, and from here if I have dropped an angle bisector, this is A, B, C, and this is D. So what we can say is BD is to DC. This ratio is same as AB is to AC. This is an important property that is used in solving a lot of questions. Now, properties of in center. So what will happen is basically if you take in center and if you draw a circle, it is going to touch the triangle internally. So it gives us inscribed circle or incircle. It will always lie inside the triangle. So unlike circumcenter or orthocenter, it will always lie inside. And like centroid. And if you want to find this R, that is nothing but in radii or in radius, the value of this is nothing but delta ys. I will not go into the derivation of this idea. Now this 2019 question says that a line is given to you, intersects x-axis at a point A and y-axis at a point B, then the in center of the triangle OAB is. Let us draw this out. So you can see that this intersects the line x-axis at a point A. So if I put y equal to 0, x comes out to be 8. So this point is 8, 0, this is A. And if I put x equal to 0, y comes out to be 6. So this is 0, 6. This is nothing but point B. So now what they are asking is nothing but then the in center of the triangle OAB. So you can see that if all the three vertices are given, all we require for finding in center is, if you remember the formula, it was plus bx2 plus cx3 by a plus b plus c. This was the formula. So if I apply the formula, so for that, whatever is opposite to this side, that side will multiply to this coordinate. So you can see that if this is 6, this is 8. If I apply Pythagoras theorem, this will become 10. So this is 10, this side is 8 and this side is 6. If I observe this much, I can directly apply the formula. So 0 into 10 plus 8 into 6, then 0 into 8 will happen by a plus b plus c. So 10 plus 8 plus 6. You can see that using this I will get my x coordinate. So this becomes 8 into 6 divided by 18 plus 6, 24. 6, 4, 4, 2. You are getting the x coordinate as nothing but 2. And there is only one option that matches that, that is option D, and hence we have got our answer. So it is very simple, very elementary direct formula application. 2024 question says that you have been given this 2-degree equation of a curve is the locus of the point which moves such that it is always equidistant from these two lines. So now see, there are two ways to, if you know the equation of angle bisector, you can do this extremely fast, because the property says that between two lines, if a point moves in an equidistant manner, it will form nothing but angle bisector. So there are two angle bisectors possible, one this, one this. So if I write the equation of angle bisector, it is x plus 2y plus 7 divided by root of a square plus b square, so 1 plus 2 square is equal to plus minus 2x minus y plus 8 by again root of a square plus b square. So you can see that I am getting two lines. So what I can do is I can write one line like this. This will get cancelled out. If I take plus sign, my first line will become 2x minus y plus 8. If I simplify this, this becomes nothing but x minus 3y plus 1 is equal to 0. I can also take a minus sign. So this was using plus sign. I can take a minus sign also. So x plus 2y plus 7. This was given to us. X plus 2y plus 7 equal to minus 2x plus y minus 8. This we have. If I simplify this down, it becomes minus 3x minus y minus 15 is equal to 0. Or we can write this as 3x plus y plus 15 equal to 0. If you want to write combined equation of pair of straight lines, we are going to, this is my step 1. I can multiply them. In the next step, I will multiply x minus 3y plus 1 with 3x plus y plus 15. So you have got the locus now. So this is the locus that we wanted to find. Now just multiply and compare with this equation. If you do, you will get the value of all of this. Put it here and get the final answer. So it is a very simple question if you know the equation of angle bisector. In 2024, this question says that a triangle ABC, suppose y is equal to x is the equation of the bisector of angle B. Great. So if I draw ABC, this is A, this is P, this is C. Bisector of angle B equation they have given to us. This is nothing but y is equal to x. Now if you have this, the equation of the side AC. AC, if I know, it is nothing but 2x minus y is equal to 2. This is my AC. Twice of AB is equal to BC. So if I take this point as D, what they have given is, they have given me the ratio of AB is to BC, and that is nothing but 1 by 2. So I know that this will also be in the ratio 1 is to 2. If I want to write the find point D, then what is going to happen? If I want to write the point D, it is going to be nothing but x3 plus 8 by 3, y3 plus 12 by 3. So this is nothing but my point D. Now point D says that it lies on y is equal to x. So I will equate x3 plus 8 by 3 with y3 plus 12 by 3. And if I equate, this will go away. x3 is nothing but y3 plus 4. But y3 plus 4 into 2 times minus y3 is equal to 2. So y3 plus 8 is equal to 2. y3 becomes minus 6. If y3 is minus 6, let us try and get the value of x3. So x3 from here comes out to be minus 6 plus 4, it becomes minus 2. So you have got this point x3 comma y3. This point comes out to be nothing but minus 2 comma minus 6. Please check my calculation. See, once you have got this value, your life has become a lot easier. So let us now draw a very simplistic diagram. Okay, now what is there is this point is 4 comma 6. This point has come out to be nothing but minus 2 comma minus 6. And what we have is nothing but this line. So this passes through y is equal to x. So if I want to write this B point, eventually this is alpha comma beta. So alpha will be equal to beta because it passes through this point y equal to x. So this is my fourth condition. Now again, what they have given you is one more condition, a relationship between AB and BC. So if I apply it in my fifth case, my value of 2 times AB now from distance formula will become nothing but alpha minus 4 whole square plus alpha minus 6 whole square. It will be equal to root of BC. BC if I find, it will be nothing but alpha plus 2 whole square plus alpha plus 6. If I solve this, I will be able to get the value of alpha. Once you have got the value of alpha, you have also got the value of beta. You can put it here and get the final answer. That will be equal to 3 times alpha. Now let us move on to this 16 type of problem, that is questions based on OGC. So O is nothing but orthocenter, G is nothing but centroid, and C is nothing but circumcenter. So what happens is they have a very peculiar relationship between them. One, they are collinear, they lie on the same line, and this G will divide them in the ratio 2:1. This is a very peculiar thing, and using this idea, a lot of questions are asked that connect the idea of orthocenter, centroid and circumcenter. Now let us look into this 2024 question. This question says that they have given you the value of centroid, circumcenter. To remember your OGC, this is O, orthocenter, this is G, and this is C. Instead of writing this, they have given new names. So based on new names, let us write it down. So orthocenter, out of these 3 points is nothing but minus 6 comma minus 8. Let us write it down here. This is in the ratio 2:1. Centroid out of this is nothing but A comma B. Let us also write it down. And then circumcenter is nothing but 3 comma 4. Let us also write it down. So using this relation that is given to you in step number 1. So now corresponding to this, they have given different names. So let us write different names so that there is no confusion. So centroid is nothing but A. Circumcenter is nothing but B, and orthocenter is nothing but C. So let us write it like this. So once you have written it in this manner, now what is happening here is let us apply the section formula. So A would be equal to 6 minus 6 by 3, and B will be equal to 8 minus 8 by 3. So you can see that both of these values come out to be 0 comma 0. So your centroid is nothing but the origin. The distance of a point P. So now if I want to write the point P, so the point P becomes 3 comma 5 because A and B are both 0. From this line measured parallel to this line. You can see that this kind of question we have done earlier. So this is a point P. If we do not want to measure the direct distance, we want to measure it in this line. The equation of or the slope of this line we can borrow from the other line. So parallel to this line. So you can see that equation of this line can be written as x minus 2y plus c equal to 0 because this is parallel to that line. For finding c, will satisfy the points. If I satisfy the points, this will become 3 minus 10 plus c is equal to 0. C comes out to be 7. You can see that the equation of this line comes out to be x minus 2y plus 7 equal to 0. Once you have got this line, the equation of the line from which we want to find the distance is 2x plus 3y minus 4. We'll find this point of intersection. Let us say that this point is nothing but D, and then apply distance formula to get the value of PD. So this is what is asked. We can apply the distance formula and get the answer. Type, we are going to questions which connects SOT with straight lines. Now we have a very famous rule known as sine rule. What sine rule says is, if you have a triangle ABC, side opposite to capital A is small a, side opposite to capital B is small b, that opposite to capital C is small c. So this rule goes like this: sine A by small a will be equal to sine B by small b will be equal to sine C by small c. Once you have this, now let us see how to apply this in 2024 question. This question says that we have a triangle in which there is a point A given to us. This point A is nothing but minus 1, 0. B is on the positive direction of x-axis like this. We don't know this point, let us assume it to be x1, 0. And it is in such a manner that AC is equal to nothing but AB. Also, we have been given the value of BC, and that is nothing but 4 root 3. We have been also given that this angle is equal to 2 pi by 3. Once you have got this angle, interesting thing is, since these sides are equal, these angles will also be equal. So this angle will become pi by 6. This will become pi by 6. So in step 1, what we can do is we can apply sine rule. So sine of angle A by small a will be equal to sine of angle C by small c. This is sine of 2 pi by 3. This is 4 root 3. Sine C is nothing but sine of pi by 6. And in what we have nothing but C as nothing but x1 plus 1. Once we have these values and we put it here, this comes out to be root 3 by 2 by 4 root 3. Similarly, this will become nothing but 1 by 2 into x1 plus 1. If I simplify, this root will cancel out, 2 will also cancel out. x1 plus 1 will be equal to 4, hence x1 comes out to be 3. In the next step, once we have got this, now what we can do is, since we have got the value of x1, now we know that for this side BC, we have got this point as 3, 0. This angle is equal to pi by 6. So this inclination would be nothing but pi minus pi by 6. You have got the slope of line BC. We have got the point on line. So we can write the equation as nothing but y minus 0 by x minus 3 is equal to tan of pi minus pi by 6. And that is nothing but minus 1 by root 3. Once you have got this value from second equation, in the third equation or the third part, we are going to take intersection of this, because this is what is asked as, this intersects a line y is equal to x plus 3 at a point alpha comma beta, then find this value. So now the next step is very simple. We have got this equation of line BCS y is equal to minus 1 by root 3 x minus 3. There is another line y is equal to x plus 3. We can find the point of intersection, that will come out to be alpha comma beta, and then answer the question. I hope you enjoyed this one short video in which we went into the details of different kinds of problems that can be formed and how to solve them. If you like this series, it is highly advisable that you opt for PracBee's Revision Program, in which we have divided 10 weeks into 10 blocks, and every week we cover one block, and in that you have a target of solving one chapter in a day, and this lecture series is in combination of that revision program. I hope you like the video. It will be great if you can drop a comment and let me know what more we can do for you. So if you find this interesting, it is highly recommendable that you click on the link in the description box and try and join the series as well. See you until next one.